versus TV.
Hey guys, I'm Tim.
And I'm Bob.
Yes, and this is the Board Game Rundown, and we are live from my basement in Bob's dining room. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Programming note for those of you tuning in, and maybe you didn't know, but I am so excited. One of my best friends is about to become a regular on our Whiskey Wednesday live streams. And that's Mr. Hooper over there.
Oh, sweet. All right.
Yeah. Bob's job schedule, life has changed. He's got evenings free now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We get to see more of our buddy. Everybody should already know Bob from the regular show and all the reviews and whatnot. But Mike is off getting ready to camp for the 4th of July, pretty much for like the whole weekend because he's a crazy person. I like air conditioning.
And indoor plumbing.
Yeah, also very important. Very important.
Thank you, Andrew.
But yeah, man, Bobby, I'm really glad you're here. Thank you. I've been looking forward to this ever since, and I know Mike is too. Mike will be doubly excited next week.
Yeah.
But we didn't bring on a guest because I just wanted to hang out with Bob tonight, and we could BS. Woo. We could break Bob in, get him used to the flow. He's popped on a few times, but we got to ease him in. This is a different kind of muscle to flex, right? Than just sit in the studio.
It's the I've been up since like 6 or something in the morning muscle.
Have you been able to go to sleep earlier yet?
Yeah, for the most part. Like I've been falling asleep around 11 o'clock.
That's not terrible.
Or so midnight. Yeah, not terrible.
But you got to get used to getting up. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say like I thought I was doing good, like because Origins. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like up. It's early. This is gonna be awesome. It's no problem. So my new job starts. It's gonna be a piece of cake. And then I had like one more week of having to stay up until like 2, 3 in the morning.
Right.
And then that last weekend came around, and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to go to bed. It's only midnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it's an adjustment, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. How's the commute to work? Is it about the same as your old one?
Yeah, it's literally like maybe 2 minutes longer.
Okay.
So
cool.
it's not bad.
Cool.
The other one I can make it like, I used to do it like just under 30 minutes, and now this one is like 30 minutes. So
sweet. That's not terrible. Not terrible. You know what's funny is it takes me 40 minutes to get to my job, and if I were to drive to your job, it takes me 40 minutes to get to.
Wow.
Because of the traffic.
Yeah.
It's closer, but the traffic is worse. Like the
going down Cleveland.
Yeah, the most direct route for me to go. Yeah.
Right.
But that's all right, man. Anyways, all that business aside, I was kind of inspired by this topic because I heard somebody disparage small box games. They say
blasphemy.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, well, that's not the reason why I play games. I play games because I want to play Twilight Imperium, and it's like, well, sure, me too, but you can have both, right?
Exactly. That's the beautiful thing about America.
Yeah, in Europe and other countries where people play board games.
But we're going to start with America because that's where we're at.
Let's do it. Yeah. And we're on the eve of the 4th, right?
That's right. And that's what our forefathers envisioned back when they wrote the Constitution. They're like, everybody should be allowed to play whatever games they want to play, regardless of box size.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought you were going to say they could have any religion they want as long as it's mine.
Well, I was trying not to be too real with it.
Yeah, no doubt. But no, seriously, the awesome thing about the hobby, right? There's room for all shapes and sizes, all levels of board games.
Sure.
I personally love those small box games because most of the time, not every time, but most of the time, that means probably a low rules overhead. And I'm going to be able to take that game to a lot of places and get it played. Like I'm going to a family thing for 4th of July tomorrow over at my at Kelly's cousin, David Godfrey.
Okay.
Not fan of the show, David Godfrey, but we're going over to his place. And if I roll in there with, some big box games, they may get played by a few people. But I'll tell you what, I could bring a bunch of small box games, and I guarantee you we're going to buzz through a bunch of those because people are going to be like, yeah, I'll play that. That doesn't look too hard. That doesn't look
Yep.
too hard. So I just wanted to talk about, some things we love about small box games, maybe point out a few, highlight a few that we're excited about.
Yeah.
But I know you're not a hater. You're a lover.
Nah, I am. But no, it's one of my things about like the big box. I love me some big box, heavy. Takes a lot to dig in there and play
For sure.
games. But like the fact that you can I've never had as much laugh out loud fun with one of those big box games that I have with some of the small box games.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy them, because like I love the Thicky puzzle and I love like everything that a lot of things that do those big heavy games. But there's just been so many small box games that I have just cackled and laughed my ass off, or watched my mom insult my niece over, just like the ridiculousness of some of these games, and it's just a blast. And then just the ease, of approach, the ease of teach, and it's just, they offer a lot, there's a lot there. So
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like, we talk about that and we're getting ready. I don't know, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be diving into a very, very heavy World War II, game. We're going to be working with some guys and doing some videos for. And I mean, that's a 4 to 6 hour experience likely, know, and minimum. And I am really excited for that. Like, because, like you and I, we cut our teeth playing board games together on Axis and Allies, and, and those kind of things. And you don't roll up to a family picnic and they're like, hey, who's going to play Axis and Allies? Don't worry, it's the 1944 version, or whatever. This one has the technology tree. It's cool. But no, I mean, just rolling out with some small box games, and you're right. There's so much fun to be had. The laugh out loud moments, the yelling at your friends, your kids, your family. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Because like another thing about like some of those heavy games, like I mean, my nieces are much older now and they do enjoy some of the heavier games. But back in the day, when they're 15 years old, 16 years old, like playing a game that still has important decisions that you're making, but they still have like a strategic chance, right? Because if I rolled in there with Axis and Allies or War Room, it's like, I'm just going to probably stomp them in the ground, and like, while I might have fun doing that, they're not going to have a ton of fun with that.
Right.
But like when we can play, Ahoy Kitten, and we're like 1, 2, 3 point, and then everybody is yelling at each other and like, how dare you? And
yes. Stop pointing the same thing as me. And again, like, I mean, it's funny because when the comment was made, it was like, that's not why I play games, because I want to play those big games. And your description of Ahoy Kitten is 100% why I play games. Like the interaction, and the socializing. I love playing games like that sometimes with people you don't know, because then you can kind of like break that ice, right? You know what I mean? And then you could ease into like different stuff, but allows you to kind of get a read on people too. Like, okay, they'll go well with this, or they won't like this that much, so we'll kind of stay away from that. But like, I mean, even just playing like Kabanga, like that's what I've been playing lately.
A lot lately, yeah.
Very, very simple, straightforward game, and it's not very complicated. But like, I mean, it's kind of like other Amigo games like Llama and stuff like that, which is also super fun. Well, also a tiny box, but like we play the heck out of those kind of games. Again, like you said, like stand up moments, you're yelling, you're like, why? How dare you? How dare you do that to me? I mean, Kabanga is a big one because you can make people draw cards, and they think they're going out. But somehow Kabanga like does that without overstaying its welcome. That's kind of the genius of it. Like it's still pretty brisk. It's and again, right, the interaction, the value of those games. They're not very expensive, and
a lot of bang for your buck in there.
Yeah, and I do think that I don't know that you need to have like cost per play be the ruling, the main thing that you judge, should I buy this game? Because I don't think that that's super realistic. But I do think that when you can look at the cost per play. Now, there's some expensive games where my cost of play is way down because I played it so many times.
I hear
Cthulhu
that.
Wars, right?
Right.
You know, I used to way more than I do now, but I used to play it a lot more than I do now. You know, I got to play my Ankh a bunch of times, you know, again. So I brought that cost per play like way down.
Right.
But you get a badass small box game, you might have that down to dollars, you know.
Penny, like nickels, nickels a
mean,
play.
In a weekend, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Because do you have mountain goats? Like, that's
I do.
One.
Yep.
How many times have we played mountain goats?
10, 20 times at least.
How much did that game cost you? $20?
Not even. I bought it as a bundle, so I think individually it was like $12 or $15.
You're already in the cents.
Yeah.
You're in the change in your account.
Yeah, and especially if you go like per player, because it
no
plays
doubt.
4 players, so yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Even then, now you are pennies. Cockroach poker, kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Spent $20 on that game, and I probably played it at least 30 times this year.
Yeah, I think I've spent more for the sleeves than I did for the actual game.
Same.
Yeah.
And but again, right, even with the sleeves, the plays that I've gotten out of that are like, it's awesome. I love it. And again, it's crazy and super fun that you can have those same visceral emotional reactions in a game of cockroach poker that you can in a game of Game of Thrones, for example, or like even War of Whispers, with like, okay, I'm moving these, and there's like really tense strategy and lots of thinking. And then there's like, there can be some stand up, like, oh, moments. But at the same time, what's up, Jazz?
Hello.
At the same time, there's, you get those, you can still have those moments on those little games.
Yeah.
Do you have what's one of your favorite ones right now? It's like banging around. You playing a
lot.
Well,
I had like Kabanga. That's one that, I have been playing a lot recently. One that actually I've been hitting the table again a lot, that used to hit the table a lot years ago, but just recently started grabbing it again and playing it. Quicks.
Oh, sweet.
Quicks is, it's a simple, you're rolling dice and everybody's involved in everybody's turn, and you're, marking off those rows, trying to fill up as many check marks as you can per row. And I used to play it a lot back in the day. I got the deluxe copy, which is a little bit bigger, but the normal box it comes in is pretty small.
Yeah.
Actually, set some of these aside here. Yeah, just a little guy, but it's fantastic. Like, I played it with my parents, play it with a lot of my Magic buddies and stuff like that. It's a great, kind of a filler game. Not quite as laugh out loud type of game, but still, it's got some strategy in there. Like, what numbers are you going to choose, and how are you going to mark those boxes? But yeah, I've been playing that a bit recently. So,
like, also one that's kind of similar that I like a lot is the That's So Clever, or Ganshan's Clever. Have you played that one?
I have not.
It's a Wolfgang Warschbob. You need to play it.
Wow. Okay.
Because quacks, taverns, those games.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a small, easy dice game.
Yeah, but I want to play a game for 2.5 hours, though, Tim. Isn't that going to take a long time?
All right. Yeah, that won't take that long. We could play two games of Twilight Inscription if you want the same roll, right? Or 30 games of Quicks, whatever you want. No, Quicks is a good one, though. That's a classic. I have that. I remember buying that early on because I was like, I can get Kelly to play that with me.
Yep. And that's actually one where like I took some of those sheets and made some copies, bought some extra dice, and then gave them to like my nieces and stuff so they could take it with them. And so it was almost like a print and play almost, and then they all like enjoyed it and liked it. So I ended up getting the deluxe, version that comes with the nice dry erase boards and everything, and nice big chonky dice. I mean, it's still, like I say big one, but it's not that big.
Yeah. By comparison, it's big.
Sure.
I mean, like, I remember during the pandemic, we played Cartographers a lot.
Yeah.
And Welcome To, and things like that. And I'd consider, Welcome To is like a little bit bigger box, but it's not that big of a box.
It's pretty thin, but it's a little square box, but
just because this
I really
is right
enjoyed
here.
Welcome To. I haven't got to play Welcome To in a while. Oh yeah, Solar Titans, nice.
We actually need to play this again because last time I played it was the prototype. So we need to play
Right.
the
We got to
real
play that
version.
final version. Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, what a like again, small box. Oh, I got another small box one we got to play, Bob. Do you remember this one?
We have goats. Yeah, I think I have that
Yeah.
upstairs. Yeah,
Do you have the prototype?
I think I do. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
yeah.
This
I
isn't
wanted to
out
play with my
yet.
mom because. Oh yes, yeah. That's a nice.
No,
That's nice.
but
I
you
wanted
want
to
to play
play
We Have
the
Goats?
We Have Goats because my niece was always making fun of my mom because she's from a small island, and so like everything was like, oh, they're stealing our goats, like
Right.
or oh, I'll give you a goat for that, and so yeah, I want to play the We Have Goats game with my mom. I think she'd get a kick out of it.
Well, and again, right? Like this is a really simple. You're sort of like playing those tiles and lining those cards up to try to make a path, kind of like Karuba, to get your goats back to your base. But there's just really crazy ways that you can mess with other people.
Right, a little bit of take that in there.
Yeah, so it's like Karuba. It's similar to that, but with way more player interaction, right? As you're messing with people and stuff because you're all working off the same board.
And speaking of take that,
I
have. What do I do with that box? I mean, give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
All right. Well, we can shake a goat's tail. But yeah, there's even some companies, and we'll talk about it more when Bob gets back. There's some companies that are like straight up small box games, and like that's all they do. And we'll hit on them in a minute.
But speaking of take that, I got to play Seppi's Take This. End of the line.
Yeah, that box is so much smaller than mine. Here, hold on.
It's so small. And I love the oh wow. Yeah. They shrunk the box and the playtime down significantly. And that's what
I've heard.
Yeah, it's got like a 50s or 60s, like the whole like the Loki. Like it reminds me of that kind of like an art style, like where it's got the what's that ministry? The Time Authority.
Ministry of Time.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
But it's chaotic fun. The Time Authority. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah, and Seppi's personality and sense of humor and mine like line up like really well. Yeah. Like he's got a really fun, dark sense of humor. And it's got sort of like that Art Deco, sort of classic aesthetic to it. Like
I wouldn't say Art Deco. I'd say it's more of like the if you've been to
the Fallout, the 50s, late 40s, early 50s kind of art. Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. Art Deco is more 20s.
And classier.
Sure. Right before the fall.
Sure.
But no, I mean that's the fun thing about End of the Line is everybody's like lining up at the end of the world, right? And only certain people are going to get in, and you're eliminating lines of people. You're getting into different lines, and you got
pretty much you're putting the cards down, and you're basically risking a family member.
Yeah.
And then like once the line fills up, you got to run that line, and then you start flipping these cards over and resolving them. And sometimes people die, and then sometimes people live and come back. But yeah, it's and then you get to profit off people's deaths. So it's a good time.
It's very Seppy.
It is.
Processing is what his small box game that I have. And super fun and dark and very mean, but hilarious.
You're into that because it involves eating people.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not actually a cannibal. I just thought one time I thought it was really funny for a food themed list to just go and guarantee I wouldn't have any crossover with people.
Well, Tim, you can build 1,000 bridges and they won't call you a bridge builder, but you eat one person, you're a cannibal.
You're a cannibal for Oh, well, it was really good to be on my last episode of Whiskey Wednesday.
It's been fun. Yeah.
But no, I mean, we should honestly, yeah, thanks, Andrew. We should mention like Envy board games, right? Matthew Ryan
specialize in the
in those small boxes because even Mind Your Business is small. It's not as small as Sirens or Confusing Lands or Defrag or 16 Candies. Those can all fit in fanny packs or one fanny pack. Can they all fit in one fanny pack?
I think you can get 3 of
Yeah,
those
3
into
of
one
them
fanny
into.
pack.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we need to test that out. Test that
Yeah.
theory.
I've
We
got
have
my
the
fanny
fanny
pack
pack.
over here, but I don't want to leave again. So
Yeah, you need to bring my fanny pack to filming so I can have it.
Mike just dropped it off,
Oh
so
yeah,
I'll be able
Mike
to,
had
I'll
it.
be able to
You
bring
could
it. Yep.
put that beer in there that Jim sent along.
That's right. I got that too. So
Sweet.
yep.
Looking forward to that.
Finally got Mike to make the delivery. So
Oh, Mike. He just
Yep.
wanted to Dragon's hoard it for himself. I'm just kidding.
No.
He just lives in a different town, so it's kind of hard. Like
He
it's not
does.
just driving by and going, "Hey, I'm going to drop this off."
Yeah. We did figure out a nice spot because we basically like he works 10 minutes from my house and I work 10 minutes from his house.
Yeah, you do.
And then we do this at 5:15.
Nice.
Then and so like he wanted to borrow my secret Hitler. So
right on.
We stopped like halfway at like the Wings, etc.
Yep.
I dropped off secret Hitler to him today. And so yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
That'll
Do
be
you have
nice.
the wood?
That'll be I
Do you have the
do,
wood
but I
box?
didn't let him take that because it's kind of like it was kind of broke.
Oh,
And
sure.
so I have it wood glued, so it's okay. But I was pointing him out, hey, this here where it's a little fragile, be careful. He's like, I'm just gonna take the cardboard part inside if that's okay.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's Mike's a good dude. He would have taken care of it, but also
He would have, but also
kudos.
kids.
Yeah, but kudos to being just extra careful. Like, let me just crush this cardboard box, and that way I don't ruin your wooden box.
Yeah, and then I can hide it inside the wood box when I get it back to you. Winston, be nice. He's picking on Bella. What's your problem, mister? I know there's no room for you to get in my lap because I have this keyboard and this whiskey in front of me. Yep.
Poor Winston. It's
Poor
funny.
Winston.
Not that anybody cares about this at all, but we dog sat Winston while Bob was off gallivanting in Origins and left me behind. I was there ready. I had my bags packed. They just drove right by my house, honked.
Yeah. Well, I dropped the dog off and then I kept going.
Wait. Oh yeah. That long enough to drop Winston off, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get my stuff, and you're like, cool. Drove off. But Winston, it was funny because Kelly's like, he looks so different. His hair's long, his nails are a little long, and I was like, don't you dare get him groomed without.
I mean, if she wanted to pay for a haircut, she could have.
Yeah, no doubt.
I let her.
But he just looks so different. You almost look like a completely different dog. And then
you gotta come up here.
You posted some pictures after you got his haircut.
Yeah, like before after.
Yeah, that's the Winston I know. He's got the classy mustaches and eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he looks
very distinguished.
He is very 1920s.
That's right.
Distinguished.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Brandon.
Hey, do you know Brandon?
We've met at oh, you weren't there, Origins.
Oh, damn. Cue the slow sad walk from Arrested Development. Yes, Jazz. Winston is always adorable.
No, get over here. Do you want to say hello?
Brandon,
he wants to play so bad.
Brandon, I'm glad you met the guys and talked to them at Origins. Hopefully we see you at Gen Con, maybe.
Yeah.
Man, I did do 7 years, but I did do a year. The year Mallory was born, I did a year of third shift, loading trucks at night. At Praxair.
I didn't care much for thirds because I had to go in on Sunday nights.
Oh yeah,
that means I had to sleep on Sunday, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But no, my second shift like 2:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Thursday. Well, yeah, it did give me my Fridays back. Man, I did nothing for those 4 days, and it sucked.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough because the only good thing is we just had a baby, so I would Kelly would basically be up all night with Mallory, and then I would get home and then kind of take over, and then until I needed to go to work. Man, I'd love to get to PAX U one day, but that's cool, man. That is cool. One day you'll get to Gen Con. And then 5 to 1:30 a.m. 5 nights a week. Yeah, so my shift was like 6 or 5:30 to 2 something. But if the trucks weren't all loaded, I had to stay until everything was done. So sometimes I was there till 5 in the morning.
Hey, you'll stay till the job is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whatever, man. I paid my dues. I don't have to do that anymore, so I'm not going to.
Yep. Yep.
But I mean, it's funny. You do what you gotta, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I ran into Gretchen for the first time. She's like, "Oh, you got to change hours finally." I was like, "I changed jobs completely." She's like, "No kidding." And so, yeah.
I mean,
Talked to her
unfortunately,
about that.
sometimes that's what it takes, And
Yeah. I don't think they took me seriously when I told them that I would leave, because positions would open up and I'd ask to move. And then they're like, "No, we need you where you're at. You're really important to second shift." But then my raise would determine otherwise.
right.
And then, yeah. So finally I was like, all right, well, fine. If something else pops up, And I kind of kicked myself in the butt because I do feel like had I taken that job with you a few years ago, I would have had a shot at this manager position that had opened up at my place. And I could be the manager there by now. But,
right.
you
Right. Or at the place you're working at now, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying at the Elkhart branch.
Yeah, you would have had a shot for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You would have had a shot for sure. But whatever, man.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that's not what's another company that like small box games that you love, get a lot of miles out of? We talked about Envy Born. We talked about like some one hitters,
Yep. I think it's Repos.
Repos. What do they do?
They do Just One.
Yeah.
They do So Clover.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're slightly bigger, but they're still, I'd call it small box still.
Small box for sure.
Yeah. But those games are great. Like, I love a good word game, where you're like trying to, get two words and you're got to link them with a word. And those are, I really enjoy that game on So Clover. And then, which was made by, that designer also did some other heavier games that were really good too. But, as far as a small box game, it's great. And then Just One is fantastic. And you can play that with, I wouldn't say unlimited player count, but like more than what the box says. And, we've played the crap out of that online. We've played the crap out of that, like IRL. We've, we've gotten our mileage out of those. Yeah.
And rarely have we ever actually kept score, right? It's more just like,
yes,
just to go. Yeah. Like, let's just go. Let's see what we can do. I mean, So Clover, both of those are great games. I just thought of 25th Century Games, like Green Team Wins. Is an awesome small box game. I feel like they've got another one. Do they? Oh, no, I don't remember who did. Let me see. Who did Donuts? Fun Forge. Donuts.
Yeah, Donuts is great too. Great components in there. And like, I love how the box or the board is 4 separate tiles when they're all double-sided. So there's a lot of configurations that you can do with that board to really mix up the game.
Yeah, the hard part for me with Donuts is to not play Othello.
Yeah.
Because it's similar, but it's kind of the opposite of Othello. But no, Donuts is really good.
I have won by accident on that game so many times.
Oh, really?
Like, let's put this here. Oh, wait. I won.
I won Boop that way. And Boop's another good. I would call Boop another small box game, right? Smirk and Dagger.
Smirk and Dagger's got a bunch of like kind of smaller-ish box games.
That Adventure Party is right on the border of a small box. Like
that's a small to medium-sized box, but I'd definitely call it a smaller box game.
Right.
But that was fantastic too. I've played that probably 3 or 4 times now in the past couple of weeks.
I'm so jealous you guys have gotten to play that because I was at Gen Con talking to Kurt Cover from Smirk and Dagger last year, and he was describing the game, and I was just like, when is this coming out? Because I need to play it. And so it's awesome. It's out now, and we've got access to it. So I can't wait to play it again, or not play it again, but play it for real for the first time with you guys. That might be one that might be fun to film, just so that you can see everybody's
reactions
collaboration
and
and see what they do. We could do some fun things with that.
Yeah, we played that last Friday, and everybody that played it was like, I think it was me, Spencer, Dan, and Spencer's daughter.
Oh, Addie, Perfect.
Yeah, we had a blast playing that. That was a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, as long as you have a group that's like, creative and likes to like kind of like tell stories and stuff like that. And any game where it has a rule book that says a great tale trumps any rule in this book.
Yes.
That's that's like my D&D mantra, right? It's like,
Yeah.
no, you can't do that. It's like, no, plot will trump every single rule that you can come up with.
Yeah. Well, the thing is we learned D&D from one of the greats. So we, it was always story driven. And it's so much, for me, it is so much more satisfying because if I want to tactically move minis around on a map, I'll play Warhammer or Cthulhu Wars or something else.
Sure.
I want my D&D to be D&D and everything.
I kind of feel like this game is almost like for Greg, because like you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and you're the D20. He's like, well, actually, this is what happens after he sees what you roll, and that's what the game is,
Yeah. But you have to describe to the other people.
You describe it yourself, because you roll behind a screen, and you're like, okay, well. What actually happened was
right.
Yeah.
I feel like the same people that enjoy Adventure Party, that's what it's called, right? Adventure Party?
Yep.
Would like Alibi. Or no, not Alibi, Dubious.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yeah, Dubious is fantastic too. Yeah.
And again, a smaller box. I still haven't played Dubious in any other setting than the fantasy one, and we really need to do that.
We really need to. Yeah, we played that also same night. And we did the fantasy setting, but yeah, we're talking about, man, I really need to try that Victoria setting and whatnot. And I do think I talked to Bree Goldman, one of the
from
marketing people,
from Arcane Wonders.
Arcane Wonders, yeah, and I think they're talking about expansion for Dubious, so it's going to have different settings. So
very cool. Yeah, there's a lot you could do with that.
Yeah, and speaking of Arcane Wonders, we played a great small box game while we were there. It's a Japanese game that's coming over to the States. They had like some of the OG Japanese style games versions, and they are revamping the rule book a little bit, changing some of the categories. But Ito, where you basically have these cards that have like with a number on it, and then there's a topic that's picked, and you're trying. And it's a scale of 1 to 100, and it's gonna be like something that makes you happy. Right, it's just for a random topic, and you're like, okay, well, I have a 98, so I'm gonna say, beating Tim at a board game because that makes me really happy. And so people are trying to gauge, like, okay, if that makes him this happy, mine's like, well, I have a 2, so I'm like, stepping in dog crap, so I'm gonna put that way over here. Oh, good morning.
I'm trying to remove that comment, but it didn't work.
Thanks for bringing that to my attention.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Woo. That's for our Patreon. So if you'd like to see more of that, don't forget we do have a Patreon.
Well, you did say 98. You needed something that made you happy.
That's right. Wow.
That reminds me. I'll have to tell you off camera. But when Mike and I went on the Beans and Dice, call-in show, somebody called in there was a whole thing. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
It's stuff that I can't repeat live because I think it got edited when they removed it out of the live show.
Okay.
Because it's not cool to do that, right?
Yeah. Not that kind of show.
Not that kind of show. I can't wait to play Ito though. No, Ito sounds really cool. Again though, right? That's almost like what's that? Was it Wavelength? Where you're trying to gauge.
Yeah, you're trying to say something that's like, okay, that's this much here or this much there, and they're trying to dial it into where they think that you believe that would be.
Right.
Yeah, it's very similar to that, but it's basically quantifying it instead of just putting it on a dial.
Right, right. Yeah, for sure. Grandpa Beck's games. So many. I mean, all their games are small box games. All of them are small. And again, like Scheming and Skull King are now just called Skull King. I mean, how many times we play that game? A million times. Million times. And I just one of the virtues of that game is it's euchre with a twist, right? Or spades with a twist. And so we live in the Midwest. Everybody in the Midwest is at least aware of euchre, has been exposed to it. And so that game is so easy to teach already. Just teaching anybody. It's not hard to teach anybody that's never played euchre, but I mean, it's even easier to teach people if they already know, because you understand the concept of following suit and
Trump.
trumping and taking
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and
Yep.
and so it's really good. It's really good. And there's the Bears and the Bees, which is really good. There's Cover Your Assets is really good, or Cover Your Kingdoms, whichever version you prefer. And I'm sure I'm forgetting what is it? Nuts About Mutts is one. Um, but I mean, they it's really cool. They specialize kind of like Envyborn. They specialize in these small box games, and you get a lot of miles out of them. They're very accessible. Um, I love trick taking games
Mm-hmm.
because the decisions are almost always interesting. I mean, you're and when they're not, it's a hand that you can't do much with, and so you got to you're going to throw off and you're going to be done. You're going to move on to the next hand. But it's like, you're right there. You're right there. Everybody's
Yeah.
throwing, throw.
Trick taker that I know you didn't care for too much, but I found super intriguing. But they also have a lot of other small box games that Mike picked up. Bezier
Oh yeah, I
games.
don't like Cat in the Box.
Yeah. I thought that was a very unique take on the trick taking and the trying to stick people with their cards and whatnot. And wow, we're getting
all the spammers tonight.
all the spam.
Awesome.
I brought the spam with me, folks. So buckle up.
Yeah.
Spam in the place where you live.
Don't worry. When you see the one for Bob's OnlyFans, that one you can click on.
That one's for realsies.
Yeah, don't click on any of the junk ones. Oh, that one's on Twitch, it looks like. So I can't even get rid of
it is Twitch. Yeah, I see it. So, Tim, it is Whiskey Wednesday.
Oh.
What are you drinking?
Ooh. Buffalo Trace.
Okay. Nice.
I'm due for a refresh.
Ooh, I hear that. I hear the cork.
Yeah.
It's fancy.
And like you, I don't have to work tomorrow. And I know you don't have to work tomorrow because we work for the same company.
Yes. Very excited to not have to get up early.
Yeah, man.
I will be working Friday. Are you guys open Friday?
We are. Ooh,
Okay.
Question for you that nobody else cares about, but I'm going to ask you anyways. Did they say anything about closing early on Friday to you guys?
There's been talk, is what I've been told.
Yeah.
So we depending on what's going on, if nobody's coming in or whatever. But I know we do have some cleaning projects that we're going to work on.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I mean, nothing crazy, but yeah, just little housekeeping things that need to be done.
Yeah. Not to, hey, there we go. Modelo. Very good.
Oh, nice.
I like a Negro Modelo, but regular Modelo is good too. But the dark one, I don't do a ton of dark beers, but the dark Modelo I do like.
I put my makers into one of these fancy bottles.
Yeah, look at you. We're gonna call that a Waterford Crystal.
It is.
Oh, is it Waterford?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a wedding gift from the first wedding.
Oh yeah, hey.
Yeah. So that's why I just keep getting married. So I get all these cool accoutrements for my beverages.
It's funny because from my first wedding, we went to Ireland and we bought some Waterford stuff. And for 2 seconds, I was like, did we buy you Waterford Crystal from Ireland and bring it back? But I don't remember. I barely remember. I don't have any of it anymore. And I don't remember what we bought and for who. But very cool. Yeah. What's up from the other side of the world? Welcome and enjoy the replay. What we need to start doing is at the beginning, saying, "Hey, enjoy the replay." For those of you watching,
Yeah, if you're watching on the replay, leave a comment and let us know.
Right.
Yeah.
Say
hello to future us. Yeah.
So again, everybody, I apologies for everybody that does not care because this doesn't relate to them. But real quick, I'll tell you a little tale out of school. We got there was an email that came down from the area vice president that was like, hey, at 11 o'clock, evaluate how the store's doing. And if it's slow, close.
Oh, nice.
So you got the distilled version.
Yeah. I got the safe for public release. Yeah.
And also, I know that at that location, they aren't super quick to pull that trigger. At my location, I get to choose. I just got to let my boss know.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah. My location, we've got I guess a lot of our business is the other businesses around, and
Right.
most of them are on shutdown,
Right.
especially this week, and then even some next week too. So, and then a lot of them will do like the 2-day holiday, so they'll be closed Thursday and Friday.
Right.
So,
yeah, our truck routes will be pretty light, and then our walk-ins, I'm gonna have to turn a lot of people away because we're out of carbon dioxide, and we get so many people.
We got some. Send them our way.
Yeah, no doubt. Go down to Elkhart and then drive back over to Lake Michigan.
That's right.
But yeah, so many of our customers during the summer are tourists that need CO2 for their kegerators for their boats and their summer houses on the lake and stuff. 35. I had 35 tanks in on Monday, and they were gone by 2:00 today.
I only sold one food grade CO2 today.
Hey, you got one.
Yeah, I knew where to go to get it. That's my big thing now, is figuring out where I got to go get things and put things away. So,
well, we'll teach you all the welding lingo and stuff as we go. I will help you. I will tell you how I learned, and you're a quick guy. You're going to pick up on it, and you'll be good. Eric, let me just say, dude, thank you for popping in and commenting. I wanted so badly to, because I got home late into your show when you were on with Mike, and I wanted so badly to hop on and say hey to, and visit, because I really enjoyed getting to meet you last year at, oh my God, was it Origins? But you and Mike had like such a flow and like such a great patter going. I did not want to derail it. But you were awesome on the show, man. And the one rule is you're going to have to come back on when Bob and I can actually hang out with you too. That's going to be the rule.
Yeah, Eric was great. I got to meet him. Hey, Jim. I got to meet him at Origins, and that whole KB crew they're fantastic.
Dude, I've only met Eric and his wife, but they were absolutely lovely people, and really, really, really. It's just constant reminders on like what I love about the hobby and the industry, and doing what we do gives us such a good reason to get in there and hang out. Also, Jim, when you are back from your honeymoon, dude, we got to get you on so you can hang out with Bob and Mike and myself.
Yeah.
That way we can really get zombied up. Talking about small box games.
Yep.
Zombie survival infection.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is it survival? Did I say it wrong? Did I say it wrong?
Zombie and survival infection.
I did say it right.
Yes.
I did say it right.
Jim's going to get on there like, no, you idiots. It's
and that's fine. Jim, I'm getting the beer you sent on Sunday from Bob.
Yes.
And I will drink it next Wednesday on the show. I'll save it for the show.
Winston is yelling at me to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to let him out real quick.
Go let him out. I'm going to just deal with comments and stuff. No, man. Mike is camping this weekend, so he did not get fired. But we do our regular host spot, our regular show host for the recorded stuff is Bob, and he's now his schedule is opened up so he can join us, and it just seemed like a good time to get Bob in. Let's start going. You send me, dude, 100%. We are shills.
We'll shill for beer.
we will. We shill for board games. But I mean, really, specifically board games we like. You know, there's definitely, I was thinking about this, and because recently I saw a video for a board game that we passed on because it didn't land with us. And I would, instead of doing, a video for an independent publisher for a game we didn't love, like, I'm not going to dog them. Now, Panasaurus puts out a game that we hate. Guess what? I'll do a video on that. I don't care.
Right.
But yeah, we should get Camping Mike on the show.
He wanted to join, but he's worried his signal is not going to be strong enough, and it would just be a lot of 404 Mike not found, like kind of like old school Tim. Like, we can't get the hamsters over there fast enough. So, yep, exactly.
Yeah, lots of that. Lots of that. What would get worse is that I could hear you guys, but you guys couldn't hear me. You know what I mean? And I'd just like,
Yeah.
oh, damn it. But I just, God, so many small box. I could do like almost at least the top 20 of small box games that are just must haves in any collection. I don't care what kind of gamer you are. We touched on it earlier, but Mayday games, right?
Yep.
Dead Man's Draw. And then like Ahoy Kitten, for example. Great ones. Listen to that.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you taking time out to say hello.
Dude, you don't hang out with us nerds while you're down there with a beautiful woman. You enjoy yourself and, live life, man. Have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we will be here when you get back. And we'll be here for it. But again, congratulations to James.
Yeah.
He's on a honeymoon.
Congratulations.
Jim's
happy for you, man.
Great dude. And again, sort of a relationship that that started just because he had a cool looking game. And I was like, hey, we'd like to review that. And then we got to meet him at Gen Con last year. And I consider him a friend. You know what I mean? I'm even more jealous because you guys have got to hang out with him since we've become friends. We became friends because of like interacting,
everything
and
going on. Yeah.
Yeah. But then like now that whole introductory part of the friendship is like all done. And now everybody can just hang and like have a beer and, and BS.
And we did.
Stuff. Oh, she's posting pics. You have 2 more minutes. Sweet. But yeah,
quick questions on the social media.
But no, that's good, man. I'm really happy for him. Really happy for him. What? Andy's going to Gen Con. So we need a beer hangout. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Right. Okay. Twist my arm.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And anybody that's going to Gen Con this year, if you're going to be there, we will have a booth. I will give you the booth number next time or soon. Because I think we know what it is, but I don't remember what it is, and I don't have it written down. We'll have a booth. We're going to have T-shirts and stuff we're selling. We are going to have some games we're selling for some publishers that we like. So we're just, they weren't able to get a retail space. So we're doing some of that. We will have a space to do interviews at the booth, but unlike last year, we're not going to be like tied to the booth. So we're going to be very free roaming. We're going to be available to hang out, to demo games. I'm really looking forward to getting to sit down and play some games with some people that I know, but I haven't like necessarily had the opportunity to sit down and just relax and play some games with them.
Yeah.
And Eric, you being relatively close, I would be disappointed if you weren't going to Gen Con.
Yeah. Don't worry. Eric will be easy to find. He's the really tall guy.
Bob, come on. How many really tall friends do we have? Too many, right?
Sure, but he's taller than Mike.
But is he taller than Matt? Is he 6'4"? Matt's 6'4".
Yeah, so I think he is 6'4".
Okay.
So he's Deitchly strong. So
I have to tell Matt he got a shout out.
That's right.
All right, Eric, we need your height. We need your height in the chat.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
Viking man.
Oh, 6'7".
6'7". Oh, Matt,
I told you he was tall.
He's super tall. I remember Eric being tall, but when you get to a certain point, it's like everybody's tall, you know?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's just funny because, like, I don't know if you saw the video.
Yes, Brandon, I will be disappointed in you.
There was a video. I'm not sure what game it was. Eric might be able to drop it in the comments. But they're rolling dice, and people are going around trying to see like what they're rolling. And he's just like holding his thing like way up here, and nobody can see what dice he's rolling. That's like almost not fair. That's like playing that black mold game with like Michael Phelps, where he's just like, so I guess not fair.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. You can go do something else.
Yeah, I can hold my breath for 20 minutes. This game's easy.
All right, so apparently we need to go over to the Asmodee booth and demo Meadow Adventure Brook. All right. I'm going to be hitting you up, and we're going to hang out. We're going to have a beverage. Anybody that wants to hang, seriously, I want nothing more than to visit and hang out. Listen, if I hear any any conventions in Asia, I will definitely let you know.
I would
But
love
like,
to go.
the, also true, also true. Yeah, man, everybody do what Jim says. I'm really trying to grow. I'd say, well, I would have said maybe if my hair would even grow 1/100th of an inch, but
His
that
head
also ain't
grows
happening.
1/100th of an inch every time.
It was a prototype where you use your whole body.
Okay.
And then always the Tokyo game market in Asia. Hold the thumb. How about the thumb down? I guess the thumb down would still like the same thing. It's interaction.
Sure. It still
Did
counts
it,
for the algorithm.
Eric, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that game, so you just kind of like, skirt around it a little because, I would almost take that as a threat, but I'm really excited for it. Will you be at Grand Con, Brandon? I'm going to try to go to Grand Con for a day. I might have my family, but I'd like to get up
Oh
to
yeah,
Grand
it's
Con
coming
for a
up.
day. Wait, now is Eric Grand Rapids or is he Detroit? Do you remember? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
What'd you guys even do in Origins if you didn't find out where everybody you talked to, like where they're from and their home address?
We played board games.
Oh, boring. Yeah. There it is. There it is. Yeah, Jazz, get to Gen Con sometime. Okay, Detroit. Detroit. That's not that far from South Bend. I mean, it's a little farther to Indy. Jazz, if you ever legitimately want to try to get to Gen Con and you can get the time off, we know enough people that are always looking for help to work a booth. If you're willing to put in a few hours, we can put you in touch with people.
Yeah, for sure. Winston wants back in, so you need to.
Yeah, go do the thing. Go do the thing. KB crew in Metro Detroit. That's what's up. So you guys in Detroit, when like an Eminem album comes out, is that just like standard issue? You just go into like a CVS, you show your driver's license that you live within there, and then they just hand you one, whatever, and then you get to go. Or is that because I think they used to do that with like Ted Nugent stuff? Like if you lived in Michigan, you just got like every Ted Nugent album handed to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Winston Charles, get over here. He wants to play so bad. He's got his toy and he's shaking it at me, and he's putting his butt in the air. Yes, you're so cute, but I'm busy. Sorry.
See, I'm lucky because Remy is upstairs and he doesn't know about the downstairs yet.
Okay.
And I don't know how he would do with stairs. He's still small.
Right.
And
they're not carpeted stairs.
My stairs are not carpeted. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of dogs I find don't like the hardwood steps.
Oh, sure.
Especially because, Winston's got issues with the traction. And so. Come here, mister. No, get over here.
Oh, right. Eric, so that unfortunately that joke goes back from me in high school. Let me just date myself. In high school, when the Weezer album, the Blue album, came out, like the first Weezer CD, because everybody that I knew had it, we joked that was standard issue. Like when you got to high school, they just were like, "Here's your math, here's your history book, here's your Weezer Blue album, here's your." So
standard issue.
I've been to Detroit 2 times, once for work and once for a Tool concert. The Tool concert was scary.
That's like Detroit and then like the Fort Wayne Coliseum are rough places to go for a heavy show like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where I saw Pantera. I can't remember if it was up
Yeah.
in Michigan or not. Oh my.
Yes,
So
Eric.
okay,
So annoying.
okay. So tell me your Gen X without being Gen X. My iPhone had a U2 album on it and a Rolling Stones album on it, and I've refused to listen to any song on like like when I'm listening to my music, and if one of those songs come on, instant skip. I'm so mad because I can't even delete it off of my phone. I can't even
So annoying.
choose to not have it.
Yeah.
And so that the old crotchety, me is like, nope, I don't want it. I hate it. I don't know. It could be great. It could be the best album on my phone, and I will never
Not gonna
know.
listen to it. Yeah. It's
Not
one
gonna
thing to
listen
like
to it.
include it for free, but if you don't want it, you can delete it. Okay.
Yes.
But to be like, no, it's permanently embedded into your phone. No,
Right.
don't want it.
Right. Yeah. I'm an old man, and I am so Gen X. Hey, we will see you in the replay. As always, thank you so much for even coming in and saying hi. I
Yeah, no kidding.
appreciate you commenting the next day. I appreciate you in the Discord. It's amazing. I love it. It means so much to my old grumpy crotchety Gen X heart that you guys care and hang out with us and do that. So I really appreciate it. Um, Small box games, Bob.
Oh yeah.
Again, though, right? Like one of the reasons why just you and me hanging out, BSing, uh, like especially for your first one where you're like officially back, right, and here to
Mhm.
do it. Um, oh wait, can I tell a really funny story that might be
Okay.
embarrassing for you?
Uh-oh. Oh
Okay,
no.
yeah, no, no, no.
Great.
So,
This sounds
they,
fantastic.
listen, for the one that I have of you, I'm sure you've got 47 for me
More
in
like
the
42, but go ahead.
the life, the universe, and everything. In the 20 plus years we've now known each other, isn't that crazy?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, anyways, when I first got approached to do the show, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do the show alone because I feel like that would be boring. I would have more fun with it if I had people to bounce off of. And I'm like, who do I know that's really good at teaching games and talking about games? Of course, I'm going to talk to Bob. Like, Bob, all right, you want to come on and do a show with me? Blah, blah, blah. And I just remember how nervous you were early on being on camera and doing stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, and I had no idea because Bob is such a natural in person, IRL, right? Bob and I would go, and we would go to conventions together. We're playing games, we're teaching games. Bob's not a shy person. Like he and I both are, you know, really good extroverts. Like we
Yeah.
we do like our alone time, but at the same time,
Introverts with extrovert tendencies. Yeah.
yes, exactly right. Exactly right. But when our extrovert batteries are charged, man, we're like full bore. Let's go. Let's teach games. Let's
Hmm.
play games. Let's be taught games. Like let's do
Yeah.
all the things. And so naturally, I just assume wrongly, Bob's going to be just as comfortable on camera as me. And he was, and I felt really bad because I didn't even think about it. I
Hmm.
didn't even think like, oh, he wouldn't want to do this. Now, I don't know if it was Bob wanting to be a good friend or was genuinely interested, but just super nervous about it. Maybe a little bit of both. But Bob didn't say no. And then it's like, oh, we can loosen up, we can do this. And you told me the story about how you got really scared and nervous
Yeah. Nothing like some childhood trauma.
because it was a spelling bee that
It
you
was so I think it was fifth grade, but we had to memorize a poem. And unbeknownst to me, they were going to be filming this. And this is back in the, and
yeah.
so they set a camera. And this, because nowadays everybody's got a camera. Being on camera doesn't really seem like as big of a deal. But back in the cameras weren't,
Yeah.
around so much. And so I'm in front of the class and I'm looking at this camera and I just have like a breakdown. And ever since then, like I just did not like looking at a camera. And yeah, it took me a while to just kind of get over that, but I had to embrace it if I wanted to keep doing this, and finally now I'm just like, hi.
I mean, the great thing is, Bob, nobody would know until
now they do.
Tell the whole story. Nobody would know. Brandon, dude, thank you so much for being here and popping in, dude. Have a wonderful 4th. Count your fingers and your toes, and please have that many on the 5th.
Yep. That's what I kept telling people today. Have a nice 4th. Come back with all your fingers.
Right. At least as many as you currently have. Like, we don't expect you to grow any in case you've already lost. Isn't it? I think Bob's dad is missing like this much, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like this. Yeah. He lost the tips of these 3. But it wasn't due to fireworks, though.
Right.
It was negligence on somebody took a guard off a machine, and he was given a tour. And he put his hand down, and his press went. And, he wasn't even working on the machine. He was giving a tour. He's like.
So whatever you do, don't do this. Oh!
Yeah, right.
Biscuit. Hey, Eric.
Oh, no. Don't reel the list.
Yeah, it's more of a topic and a discussion because of some stuff. Well, let's hear what Get Gaiman's worst stage fright I ever had was right before singing Puccini with an orchestra for the first time. Almost vomited. Wow.
Tree pose.
Wow. What's a tree pose? Is this tree pose? Yeah,
you put your here's your legs, and basically you're gonna put one up.
Oh.
And like dig it in the side, kind of thing.
Like the Hanged Man.
Like a figure 4 almost.
Card. Right, the Hanged Man tarot card. He's like upside down with a leg like a triangle.
Right? The leg is like a triangle, yes, but you're not upside down.
Right. Anyways, you know what's weird is I sleep like that sometimes. I don't know why.
Upside down?
Yeah, upside down. No, with that leg like that. It's very weird.
Yeah, tuck your foot up in the thigh. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why I sleep like that sometimes. I noticed that. Thanks for keeping it dark. Oh, wait. Are you trying to highlight stuff and I'm doing it too?
Not me.
Oh, okay.
I think you're just fumble fingering in there.
I might be. Like a bat.
Mm-hmm.
Tim about as a vampire.
Like a bat.
I'm very bad at being a vampire, but yes. Hey, Brandon. We'll see you, buddy. Yeah. You can count on me for the very dark sense of humor a lot of times. But no, again, this topic is more to just espouse the importance to me and to Bob of small box games and the value of them. Because, again, I heard somebody make an offhanded comment and it stuck in my craw. And instead of confronting them and telling them they're wrong, I just decided to dedicate a whole show to why small box games are not only important, but one of the main reasons why I play that. Yeah, I'm so in love with the hobby.
Yep. So another small box publisher that we haven't talked about to kind of get us back a little bit on topic.
Let's do it.
Oink Games. They do Scout, right? Scout's fantastic. And then I recently played, they've got a submarine game out now. I'm not sure if you've seen the submarine game or not. Have you seen that? So you have the submarine where everybody starts. And then there's all these like bubbles kind of going down, and they have like 1 pip, 2 pip, 3 pip, 4 pip. And there's like random values on each one, and they get bigger as you go down. And then as you go down, you pass the dice, you roll the dice, and they're like 6-sided dice, but they're 1 through 3. So you can't get so high. And then you keep going down. And then once you decide to take a tile, you take it and you replace it with like a space holder. And then you're going to keep that secret. And then you can keep going down or you can go back up. The trick is every time it comes around to somebody's turn, if for every tile they've got, the team loses an oxygen. And you've only got so many oxygen to get back up to the submarine, or you drop all your treasure, and then more people have to come down and go down and pick stuff up again. I played that at the last Meeple meetup, and I really liked it. I looked into buying it. I waited because I was going to see if I could try to find it at Gen Con for a little cheaper, but I couldn't. But I'll probably end up picking it up because it is a nice little small box, the same as Scout size box. Okay. So there's not much to it at all, but it's, I guess, technically a roll and move, but like there's also that strategy of like, do I push my luck, and keep going down deeper? Well, crap, he's got 2, tokens next to me, so we're going to be losing a bunch of oxygen as it comes around. And am I going to roll high enough? And then also for everyone you're carrying, you subtract 1 from your roll. And since the dice only go up to 3, the max you're getting to 6. And if you've got, 2 or 3 of those, odds are you're only moving 1 or 2 each time you try to go somewhere. Right. Yeah, Steep Sea Adventure. Yep, that's it.
So it's interesting, and I don't know if it works this way, but it should be the more treasure you have, the easier it is to go
Easier you go
down.
down, it
But the
adds to
harder
your
it is to go
sinking.
up.
Yeah,
But the
that would
harder
be a
to
good.
go up.
Yeah,
See, you
right.
already
That makes
knew.
sense.
You already knew.
Yep.
Which is why Bob and I playing just one together is so difficult because we always write the same thing.
Cancel each other out, even when we spell it the wrong way.
No, or the right way.
Well, correct. Yes.
Right. Because what was it, Stallions or something?
It was wild. Yeah, it was Stallions, and we both put wild with a Y.
Yes, because of Bill and
Yep.
Ted.
Yep. Like, are you kidding me?
Like, why? Hey, Jazz. We honestly, though, I know you're friends and everything, but seriously, thank you so much for being here and giving us your time. That is your most valuable resource. So you're the best, and awesome to be here. We got to give Eric some credit for sharing this. Man, I cannot imagine having to pitch a game design.
Wow.
That's got to be so stressful.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be so stressful. And hey, your wife is a very sweet lady. The one time I met her, I mean, I'm just going off that, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say she's probably pretty cool. You know, why she married a walking tree, nobody knows, but you know, only she knows. Now, wait a minute. Was that a design that got maybe signed at Origins last year? Just wondering.
Oh,
might know something about that one.
But also, speaking of him talking to like the publishers and whatnot, I believe he had a meeting with Sam, and Sam and them, when their first game was a small box kind of game. I almost said Call of Cthulhu. Cult of the Deep.
That's not a small box game. That's a big box.
That's the same size as like Welcome to almost. It's only slightly bigger than Welcome to.
Hold on a second.
And Donuts. It's about the same size as Donuts.
No. Get out of here.
Yeah. Isn't it? Well, okay, maybe not. Never mind. Screw that game. What's Sam even thinking about? You know, it's close.
Oh, but
you got to do that forced perspective. You got to hold the donuts closer and then hold the Cult of the Deep back like this so they look the same size.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
See, look how much bigger that box is compared to the other one. Jeez, Tim, what were you thinking? In my head, it looks smaller.
Listen, go buy BA Games board games. Just do it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, their Forges Ravenshire will be available at Gen Con, and it is worth picking up. And that is not a small box, but still.
Eric, I will say, man, that game you got signed was so much fun. And you were very gracious and let us mess around with the rules and tinker with it and everything. But that is still one of my favorite experiences in the board game hobby, staying up till 4 a.m. playing your game. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
It's true, Eric. He talks about it all the friggin' time. So
it was good though. It was really cool. That was my first time I got to sit in on a
dev sesh.
Yeah, a dev sesh.
You gotta say dev sesh, or you're not actually like.
I know. But man,
what feature hamsters? You're starting to lag.
What? Oh, am I?
Well, you were a little bit. It was like, yeah, that helps.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah, right. The faster I move, the better it goes. So no, you could still go buy Cult of the Deep. I would say still go do that.
It's a medium-sized box.
Wolves of Mercia is a small box that is a very good version of Werewolf that even Bob, I believe, enjoys.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob does not like Werewolf.
I do not.
So
famously, everybody knows that I do not. But yeah, I don't typically care for a lot of the social deduction types of games. But Shipwreck Arcana. That's Miramorph Games.
I didn't want to mispronounce it.
Yeah. But this is a great like team deduction game where like you're trying to figure out why do they play that tile instead of this tile. So what tile could they have? So they played that one. It could have been here. It's almost like the Paint the Roses, where it's not so much what you played and where you played it, but why didn't you play it over here? You're trying to use all that information to try to deduce what their other tile is.
And again, sometimes you can overthink it. Because you're
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
no, I
Yeah.
just screwed up. Like that's
Yeah,
the only
I know.
reason.
Yeah. I didn't put that much thought into it. I'm glad you're reading into it, I
Yeah,
guess.
why are you guys working so hard on this? You had it right away.
That's funny. Yeah, you
That's what
talked
happens to
yourselves
me.
out of the right answer. Yeah.
God, that happens to me in Code Names, also a good small box
Oh,
game.
yes. I
You
love
know?
code names. There's a
Yeah.
lot of really good word games that are in smaller box games.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Eric, hush up. Don't be humble. Keep making great games. You and your team, do what you're doing. You're doing something right. So, yeah, don't be humble. Just,
Mhm.
yeah. I
I'm
love
a
playing
million
people's
times more
games.
humble than thou art.
Yeah,
So.
that's right. That's right. And I don't know anything. I just play games. I'm a consumer. That's all I
Yeah.
am. Bob and I, we've talked about designing stuff, but we've never really, we've
Never
never
really crossed that finish line ever.
We've
You
never
know.
designed stuff to the point where we would show it to anybody outside of our circle.
Correct. Yep.
And that sounds terrifying.
Speaking of having a breakdown.
Yeah, I would much rather get on camera and talk about whatever than have to
pitch your game.
Pitch a game. Oh my God, that sounds so scary.
Man, I don't know, but I feel like I'd be like so excited if because I've got like 2 or 3 games. Evan,
yeah,
2 or 3 games, like, ideas written down and things like that. Like if I ever got one to the point where I was ready to pitch it, like I feel like I'd be really excited about it and like amped up for it. I don't think I'd have that as difficult of time as I did getting on camera as I would trying to pitch, because I don't have that trauma yet. Maybe once I get shot down brutally a few times and build some of that trauma up, I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore.
Well, you know what the advantage though that we have now that we didn't then is we have some friends in the industry that we could show our game to and then say, just be please like tear me down now before I show it to a stranger. And then like, what do I need to fix? You know what I mean? And that's why so many people, go through so many rounds of play testing and like, and all of that, because that's what they're doing. Right. But I would really, really, really value the feedback from the industry people that we have built up relationships with and, and stuff, because they would know, right? They would know. Evan has a game that Bob kind of likes, and I kind of like it because I just bought it and like made sure I held out till I was able to get a Kickstarter version of After the Empire, and
that's the version to get.
And Evan co-designed that with Ryan Mauk. How do you say his last name?
I don't know,
but that's who we co-designed it with, right?
Yeah, it was co-designed. Yeah.
So Evan, you got to tell us that. And I think Evan might be at Gen Con this year. So
he was trying. Hopefully he can make it. Close enough.
Yeah, we actually, we've had Evan on. We should probably reach out and try to get Ryan on because, he deserves at least as much credit as Evan does.
At least half the credit, right?
Yeah, at least half the credit. Yeah, that's true. Oh man, Eric, it was such a wonderful experience, and we had so much fun doing that. It was really good, man. It was really good. Oh, anyways, small box games. Another designer you should look out for, or not designer even, but publishing house you should look out for that does a ton of really good smaller box games, and that's Tin Robot Games, right?
Oh yeah.
We're talking about Catnip Auction House.
That's what I was gonna say.
Queen of Scots, which I've never played. Is it Rummy that's like?
Yeah, there's a version. There's like, I don't know, not to be hyperbolic. I think there's like 4 to 5 versions of Rummy, and it's similar to one of the ones I played.
Sure. You and I played that a bit when we were, what were we in Indianapolis for? IndyCon? And you and I played it at IndyCon a little bit. You taught me. I thought it was pretty good. I never played Rummy. Actually I will know in a few days, but we're going to have a few copies of that game to give away.
Oh, nice.
Courtesy of James Staley over there at Board Game Binge. Check out his podcast. He just had Tom Vassell on as an interview for his 300th episode. Whoa. I messaged him. I'm like, how'd you swing that, dude? Like, congratulations. That's a huge get. And it's a really
Yeah.
nice interview. It gives you some insight into Tom and like talking about the Dice Tower and kind of how it gets
Mm-hmm.
going. And if you like some of that, how that
Behind
stuff,
the
how
scenes.
the
Yeah.
sausage is made, behind the scenes stuff, like that's a really good podcast. And James does a really good job of his stuff's really nicely edited. It flows really well. It goes really good. And yes, they are the ones doing the garden. Yeah, there's Gecko Bob. They are doing garden geckos as well. That's really borderline, right, on that small box. I mean, at least the prototype we had is
Yeah.
probably pretty
Yeah.
close.
It's probably right about the size of, you know, the zombie survival infection or like a just one or something like that. It's right around that size.
Yeah, and that
If
garden
memory
geckos game
serves.
is really good, man.
It
If
is.
you
That was a
guys
lot
have
of
it,
fun.
if you guys haven't backed it, look at the late pledge possibly,
Hmm.
but also just
If it's still open. I know they did send because I backed it. And
okay.
they're doing a thing where you could do the original art, but a lot of people didn't like the original art. They thought it was too like childish or kiddish or whatever. So
Okay.
they're doing more of like an abstract kind of a gecko version. But you if you get on the Kickstarter or the late pledge, if it's still open, you get your choice. But this is the only
Oh,
time they're
right
going to
on.
have a choice. I think going forward, they're only going to do the more abstract version.
Sure.
But if you still like the old school art, like the original art, you can still get that at this point. So
That's one of those things where the game was so good, I didn't care.
yeah,
I
yeah.
found
I
the
mean, like
game
I say, I don't mind like cutesy art like that.
not at
Like
all, not at all.
not at all.
But yeah, if anybody has a chance, but look into it. And if that's a game you're looking to get and you miss a Kickstarter, reach out to us. You can find us on Discord, Facebook. You can message me, whatever. Comment on the video. I will put you in touch with people that can make sure you
Yeah,
have the
you might still be
opportunity
able to
to get
get.
that game.
Yep.
You may have to wait for it to come to retail, but we'll make sure you know how to be able to get it because that's a really good game. And
Mm-hmm.
again, we love supporting the independent publishers
Yes.
and stuff. And obviously, we love Reed, and Reed did Catnip Auction House.
Mm-hmm.
I love Vigilante. You like Vigilante. We all like
Yep.
Vigilante. But anyways, but that's too big of a box to qualify for this list,
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
think.
say. Speaking of not small box games, but we got to play one of Reed's prototypes over
Oh
at
yeah,
Origins, and it
Rune
was great.
Beasts.
Rune Beast, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I really enjoyed that one. It's a deck builder, and it's almost like a Pokemon where you're evolving your cards and whatnot. And
Hmm.
it was very interesting. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So
So
I've
we've
come to the
been,
conclusion that he designs games I like. So
yeah, Reed, like Seppi, Reed and I have a lot in common.
hmm
Like just our interests, and I think that has bled over into, and even more than me because of his love of like TCG games, and stuff like
yeah,
that. Like,
hmm
like you guys could just hang out all the time and freaking do
I
deck
know.
builder,
Yeah,
deck construction games, like
absolutely. Yeah, he
nonstop.
wants to play Star Wars Unlimited. I took my decks with me to Origins, but we never got the opportunity because of
I'm
everything
just
else
gonna
going
tell
on.
you, Bob.
So.
I have a feeling Reed's a shark. I'm just gonna tell you.
Oh yeah, he's at a draft right now. I believe he said that he was going to try to show up here when his draft got over if we're still going at it.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's doing that. He does that like every week. So
yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to be outclassed because one of our local curmudgeon who has yet to check in,
Oh,
he does a
Charlie.
lot of
Yeah,
those.
where's he at?
Yeah, he does a lot of those drafts too. And actually, he came over one night and brought some of his decks. And I feel like I held my own, but he did end up beating me 2 out of 3. So
Yeah, and Chris he's a smart guy.
yep,
He's a smart gamer. You know what I mean?
yep,
And
yeah,
stuff.
he's figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. But again, it's just I love that. I love getting it. It's so crazy because it's like if we just knew Reed from playing cards or games together, you wouldn't know that he was a game designer. And they were like, oh,
Oh,
like you also make these great games that we love.
yeah.
Um, Small box games, and I count this as a small box. Actually, by this company, I found 2 of their boxes recently at our local Barnes and Noble, and I was so excited. I took a picture. I made Clark hold the board games and take a picture, and I posted them on my like Facebook and I on our Discord, or at least on the Third World Studios Discord, and that is both charcuterie,
Yep.
and mission control.
Mission control.
Dude, I know we talk about mission control all the damn time. That game is so much fun. Small box game.
Is.
I mean, it's smaller, right? It's
smaller.
It's donuts. It's maybe a little bit bigger than donuts.
It's the size of Cult of the Deep.
It's smaller than Cult of the Deep.
It's between those two.
It's between those two.
It is.
The game designers are very, very sneaky, sir.
They live among us.
But no, but charcuterie and mission control are both the same size box. And I just punched my charcuterie tonight because I know I'm going to take it over to the family thing tomorrow. Because we'll get that played. So these are, again, smaller box games that you can get played, though. And you spend a little bit of money on them, 30, 40 bucks. And I guarantee you these games are very accessible. Mission Control is going to be a little tougher of a pitch.
Yeah, because you got to have 4 people is the perfect. You got to have like a perfect 4.
So. And you need to, the most experienced player needs to be the Ethernaut.
Yeah.
But you can pitch that game to the newer players by giving well, what do you want to do the Sudoku puzzle? Do you want to play Tetris? Do you want to do the math?
Yeah.
You know.
And then after a 20-minute game, because that's literally all it can take.
Yeah.
Then you can switch it up because then they have an idea what's going on, and then you can explain to them the Ethernaut and give them a chance to do it.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, that sounds awesome! I want to try that." Last toss in nearly all of last night games in the ring too. I don't know what last night games are. Okay,
like
Eric.
What?
Like what? Yes. But charcuterie is so much even more accessible, right? The theme is very approachable. And it is a very simple I split, you choose, right?
Yep.
Like I'm going to divide up.
That mechanic.
I'm drawing these tiles out of the bag. I'm going to divide them up and you pick what pile you want. And then you go from there, right? Boom, boom, boom. Yep. I get these. And then you're laying those tiles on your board because your player board is literally like a wooden shark. Well, it's not wooden, but it's a shark. It looks like a wooden charcuterie board, like you're setting up for a party, right? And so you're stacking these things all out. There's rules on the stacking and how you do that and what exactly you need to do. And it's just great. The art's great. There's like that. It's like a watercolor style art and it's very realistic looking. But yeah, the game is it's so much fun. It's very, again, you get that game, you take it somewhere where people don't normally play games and they're going to be interested. It's a very approachable theme.
I don't think I know any of those.
Okay. So I'm aware of Finest Fish because I've seen that they had a giant Finest Fish at Origins last year set up. Do you remember how at Origins they had that like sort of that curtain wall that divided the gaming area from the vendor area? Yeah. So they had a giant, like oversized, gigantic Finest Fish game you could play on the floor. And it was kind of like halfway between the front of the hall and the middle of the hall. And I only know it because I would walk by it a bunch of times to get to the Parakeet Griffin people. Okay. Because they were kind of right on the other side of the curtain. So, because you know how they were like close to the front, but like a little bit towards the middle.
Off to the side. Yeah.
So that's how I kept walking by that Finest Fish.
Okay.
So yeah, production on charcuterie is fantastic. You were 100% correct. Yep. Taught it to 4 drunk girls at a pool party, 10 out of 10. That's a win.
The drunk girls were 10s out of 10, or the game was 10 out of 10?
Well, I'm going to guess for gaming that maybe the girls made out of. I mean, hey, look, I fully admit when a man is handsome. So I mean, doesn't rule it out.
Yeah.
Andrew's top 5 Dead Man's Draw 1,000,000%. General Orders have not played. Ahoy Kitten, yes please.
Yeah, that'd be my top 5 if this was a list.
Yeah, Star Realms, Yes, played. I played
Yeah.
so much I've worn out a physical copy of Star Realms.
Yeah.
And then Skull King, again, another game that I've worn out a physical copy. And I do play Star Realms every day. I've got an ongoing game with at least my brother-in-law, Patrick, and Spencer, and sometimes Julia. So I
Nice.
have games of that going on all the time. Honorable mentions, Valiant Wars. I haven't played that. Wizards of Grimoire. Have not played that. Age of
What
Galaxy. Have not played that.
is the
And
Wizards of Grimoire? Is that the one where you're trying to protect the books in the library from the fire?
isn't that Fire in the Library?
Is that what that's called? Fire in the
I don't.
Library?
I
That's a
don't know.
pretty
I haven't played either.
that's a kind of a lame name for that game. That kind of like would go down a peg if that was the actual name. You know,
Or
like, it was
Biblios.
an
There is a game
enjoyable
called Fire
game.
in the Library. I have not had
Oh,
that
maybe
many
it is Fire in
whiskeys
the Library.
that
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Wizards
the name.
Grimoire sounds cooler.
It does sound cooler.
Negative. Well. Some listening.
So Finest Fish, Panda Royale, Galaxy Rush, and Life of the
That
Chameleon.
sounds familiar.
Have not
Galaxy
played-
Rush sounds familiar.
Have not played any of those.
But- Yeah, I don't know them.
Botanic by Space Cowboys. Man, Space Cowboys does make some good games.
Yeah.
But
They do.
have not played Botanic. Oh my gosh. I know I'm forgetting some other small box games that are very important to me.
Tim,
Rhino Hero. Holy shit. Rhino Hero is so good. Listen.
it is.
Go on, Bob. You do your story first.
Well, I was gonna say, for like a kid's game, like there have been so many times we just like, 4 or 5 of us around this table and we've got this like 3 or 4 foot high structure of cards, and there's like this grown man trying to like move this tiny rhino to the very top of the thing without knocking it over, and everybody's yelling at them and stuff. Like, it's just a bunch of fun.
Rhino Hero is the epitome of like a great convention game, right? Or a meetup game.
Yeah.
Because it's got the table presence. You're going to get the crowd reaction, as everybody's
walking around, this thing's getting bigger.
this thing's getting bigger, and you're seeing people, and everybody is like playing the game is like on the edge of their seat, like, oh, don't screw it up.
Don't pump the table. Don't you pump the table?
Yeah. One of the things I love about Rhino Hero, and thank you so much for reminding me, because that means I'm going to bring Rhino Hero to Gen Con. We got to play it at Gen Con.
Nice. Okay.
We haven't played it in ages. You and I used to play it with Pete at the IndieCon.
Geekway. Geekway.
And we'd stack up. We'd be standing on chairs, right?
Yes.
We're like stacking them up. But I don't anymore because it's close to when Gen Con is, and sometimes the same weekend. But Wizard World in Chicago, which is like out at the Rosemont.
Yeah.
We would go hang out in the hotel lobby. We'd stay in the hotel where the convention was, and we'd hang out in the hotel lobby, drink beer and whatever anybody handed us, and just kind of BS in the lobby till 3-4 in the morning, because we'd see all the celebrities that were at the thing, right? And we saw so many people. I saw Billy D. Williams and X-Pac and Lou Ferrigno and Steve Nash. Wait, is it Steve Nash? Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash. The wrestler? Kevin Nash is the wrestler. Steve Nash plays basketball. Kevin Nash. What up, Knicks? Hey, Knicks, get used to seeing Bobby. It's going to be exciting. Love it. Anyways, so we would all hang out, but this is me and Matt and like Alex and some friends that they don't typically play board games. And as I started to get into the hobby, I'd start to like sneak some games with me, right? Like Inception. Like, I got these games. I guess
we're just hanging out, having drinks. Just it's not really playing a game. We're just kind of hanging out. Yeah.
And we would have rowdy, crazy games of Rhino Hero.
Nice.
In the hall of Comic-Con, right, in Chicago. And people would like stand around and watch, and we're like, you want to take a turn? You know what I mean? And we get to know people because they're playing they draw the card, and it's like, oh, now you got to do this, and you got to move the rhino, and you got to play it like this, and like all the things, man. Rhino Hero is a great game. I still obviously have it, but like, holy crap, we need to get that back to the table. Where the hell is it?
Yeah, it's been a while since I played.
Man, it's been so long since I played, but I love Rhino Hero, and it's really good with kids. but it's great with adults, right? Beer and pretzels. Have some drinks. Everybody's bullshitting, having a good
Yep.
time, loosey goosey. It's so good, and it's a hobby game. It's a kids game,
Yeah.
but holy shit, Rhino Hero is so much fun. Love it, Bob. What a great suggestion. Um, Yeah, Nix, we did not mean for Bob to take your day shift on
Oh
Wednesday, so now
no.
you got to work night shifts. But Nix, seriously, so much love to you, dude, for even just popping in and saying, "Hey, later." I know you've been doing that recently, and it's not gone unnoticed. But dude, you're my favorite. Oh my God, Eric, here we go. Oh, that's so good. Listen, dude, QE is so good. I love QE because, spoiler alert, I love the bullshit and the bluff, and QE is so.
My favorite small box game.
Wait, Bob, how does that compare in size? It's only like a little bit smaller than Cult of the Deep, right?
Look, it's almost the size of Topanga.
They're virtually the same size.
Virtually the same size. It's basically the same game.
It's all perspective. It's all perspective. Uh, oh man, QE's really good. I have not played Trash Talk, Fun Facts, or Project L though. Really interested in those.
Yeah, check them out. I'm not super huge on QE. I like to have some sort of frame of reference, and the fact that you can just bid $3 billion,
oh,
and you're just like, wait, what? You know, yeah. Maybe I gotta try it again, but I played it twice. It didn't really catch on with me either time. But on the upside, it's not like it takes forever to play. So
no, I am an agent of chaos. I love as much QE as I can get, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Nix is getting me excited, Bob.
Ooh! Yay!
Nix.
Real men use Stacko.
Nix, let's do it, man. Bob and I are old enough to know how to calculate Thacko.
I always joke about like back in high school, because now D&D is very like, it's more mainstream. It's cool to play D&D.
Yeah. It's almost like I don't want to play it anymore because it's cool now.
Yeah. But like, they've made the rules a lot easier, to like, okay, you just roll the 20, you see what you compare it to. Okay.
Yeah.
But back in the day when you had to calculate Thacko, I joke about that's how we kept the jocks out. It's like,
right.
The nerds would be sitting around, doing algebra to figure out if you hit or not. And
do you remember what Thacko stands for?
2-hit armor class 0.
Class 0. Yeah. Oh, dude, you didn't even flinch.
No, come on now.
Do you know what TARDIS stands for?
Oh my gosh. It's a time something or other.
Time and relative.
Dimensional.
Yes. Space.
Interspace.
In space. Time and dimension in space. Yeah.
That was close.
Yeah.
And that's not bad for having like never watched any of the OG Doctor Who's. I watched, when it first came back out and it was David Tennant. I watched all of the David Tennant.
Oh, the Tennant ones are so good.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the hearts. There's the hearts. Bob,
there's the hearts.
Can you make that happen?
Oh, I don't know. I do have a Mac. Let's see.
Let's try it.
No.
Okay.
I think it's just your phone. Or maybe I have to like enable something on mine.
Wait, did my green shirt disappear in the...
Well, probably. If it's green.
Not too bad. It was more the background than the green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor, that's hilarious, dude. We love Mike. Bob was kicking it last time, but my connection dropped out. Yeah. Listen, be careful getting into a D&D game with Bob. He is a grizzled veteran. More importantly...
But do I have time to make a wand?
That was just... Oh, so many old jokes.
Fantastic.
Okay, so Fun Facts is good with a group that knows each other really well as you're trying to guess. Okay. See, I like that kind of game, dude.
Yeah.
I love that kind of game because the thing is like, again, Bob and I know each other really well, but I love that kind of game where you get something wrong and you're like, I thought I knew you.
Yeah.
Like,
who are you?
Yes. Who are you? You told your jock friends, oh, I played. Do something about it. Nice.
Do something.
But you got to roll to hit first.
That's right.
My
Calculate
dex
that
is
Deco.
17. And I'm wearing
17.
light armor. I'm
Yeah,
wearing leather
yeah.
armor.
It's 10 with his like, oh, I rolled a nat 17.
It's just a 17. Oh shit. I there's definitely times where I really wish that I had more time to play role playing games like we do or used to
Sure.
back in the day. Holy crap. But
Which was a Sunday.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. The only problem with role playing games versus board games is that role playing games are so group dependent. Like really, really, really group dependent. I've been very lucky because some of my very best friends I have had the opportunity to either meet because of role playing games, or we have become even better friends, or both, because of role playing games, and just had amazing groups. Even this should really be a disclaimer, but even my ex-wife, right? Like, she was very fun to game with. She was down, she was into it, and the role-playing games, like, she even took it to like a further level than I normally do, as far as like wanting to be in character and do things and stuff. So clearly that was not the reason we got divorced. But but anyways, when you have an amazing group, like, because I would 1,000,000% sit down and be in a role-playing game group with her again, right? Because she was good for it. She was she was there.
She was attached to her character. Like, I remember when there was so much like drama surrounding her character, and she was so invested in that character that the stakes were high.
And I will tell this story one more time, probably not the last time, and 1,000,000% not the first time. The reason I am friends with Bob was it was a Cyberpunk game, right?
It was Cyberpunk.
Okay. So my friend, my very best friend, and my favorite DM of all time, anybody in my role-playing games groups, favorite DM, right? He unfortunately moved to South Carolina, and he is living a wonderful life down there. And I am so happy for him, but I despise him for being so happy without us.
How dare he leave us?
I love Greg so much. How dare he have a more fulfilling life without us in it on the daily? But we had an amazing guy that would run games and was really good. And he was a very generous player as well, right? We could run games, and he was wonderful in the games as well. Anyways, I was like, oh, I know a guy I work with that at Applebee's, and he plays, he's interested in playing Cyberpunk with us. And then we asked him to come. Matthew was his name, not Matthew Ryan from Envy Born Games, because he's a wonderful human being, and definitely not Matt, because that is something you walk on.
Yes.
But Matthew said, hey, I've got a friend that plays role-playing games. Can I bring him? Do we have room for one more? Yep. He brought a Mr. Robert Hooper with him. And to our group, Matthew turned out to be a dick. We just stopped inviting him. Bob's like, well, I know he sucks, but can I still come?
Yeah.
And we've been friends ever since. And there is just you never know where life's going to bring you.
Right.
And man, holy shit. I've never been so mad to have or happy to have met a person that I never want to see again.
Yeah. Like, sometimes you got to let the rando bring a rando, because that rando might be somebody that you hang out with for 20 years.
That's right. That's right. Because Bob might have even been in both of my weddings.
Yep, it's true.
That's how much I like Bob. And just to prove he wasn't a jinx, the second one stuck. So
it stuck. That's right. Maybe next time I'll have you stand up at one of mine. Let's see.
That might be what you're missing, Bob.
It might be what I'm missing. Yeah.
It might be. Stop doing those destination weddings or whatever.
I know. But doing the whole rigmarole just sounds like a pain in the butt.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah. At least you get to get really drunk and like dance to like Flight of the Conchords and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's funny though, when I got married the second time, my dad said, this one better take, because I'm not coming to another one.
That's funny.
I believe him.
Yeah.
But hey, guess what, Bob?
Hmm.
I'm going to be there regardless. So unless you get
Sweet.
married like out of country and I can't make it,
Yeah.
I'll be there in spirit.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll stream it on StreamYard.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Eric, it's really funny though because you just never know how shit works out. I mean, you really don't. And you know, Bob and I have such a sort of unique, like, becoming friends
origin story
that I love telling it because
Yeah.
even Matt tells the story. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Where it's like because Matt's like, yeah, Bob just came around,
showed up one weekend, and then kept showing up,
and everybody was cool with it.
Yeah, and it was okay. And then we went to the Ren Fair, and I cooked for everybody over the campfire. And
Oh
Matt
my
was
God.
like, "You could keep hanging out." That's how I won Matt over.
Oh my God, seriously. But I mean,
Yeah.
just it's so awesome, dude. I love it. I know it might have come off as hyperbolic at the beginning of the show, but like when I say one of my best friends, but like seriously, Bobby, I know I love to give you shit and give you a hard time for ruining games for me sometimes,
Yeah.
but I would rather not have any. You're the only person I want ruining games for me because it's so much fun. I love you, man. I do. It's
Thank you.
It's
I love you too, brother.
It's great, man. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're friends. I'm so glad.
Me too.
31 years. Yeah, she deserves an award. 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
My wife oh my God, I love to torture her with this because we got married in 2010. So now it'll be 14 years next month. And she's like, it only feels like 24. So she also deserves an award, and Bob deserves an award for putting up with me for 20 plus years.
Yeah. No, I say you probably deserve one more because you helped me through 2 divorces.
Well,
so, and I only had to help you through 1. So
fair. I might have been too honest about some of this stuff through at least one of them, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I love you, and that's what I'm going to do.
All right. I say the next one I might have to side with Kelly, so play your cards well.
Dude, I wouldn't fault you for it. Would not fault you for it. On a unrelated but related note, did you see that somebody's engaged?
I did.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's so deep cut.
That's a deep cut. Nobody else has no idea what's going on. But
Yeah,
you know what, though? Small box games, Tim.
Bob, the one you just showed, show that again. Okay, hold on. I've not been able to find my copy of Marvel Remix for over a year.
I literally, where'd it go?
Do you have
literally just pulled the plastic off it while we were sitting here talking.
No, I believe you. I believe you, but it has been the bane of my existence because since Origins last year, I've not been able to find my copy of Marvel Remix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mine's still. I haven't had a chance to play mine yet. I still have cards and shrink and everything.
No. That was not meant to be an accusation. Because also we tend to loan each other games or whatever. You know, who cares? They're in the same family. Hey man, can I get that back? No big deal. But anyways, Marvel Remix. Holy crap. Okay, so Fantasy Realms. Amazing game. Great game. If you want a generic fantasy themed card game that plays in 20 minutes and is really fun and tons of replayability, 1,000,000% go buy Fantasy Realms. If you are a fan of the Red Rising novels, right? YA novels, buy the Stonemeyer edition. Maybe don't get the deluxe because the colors can be difficult, but maybe buy the deluxe because the gold inlay
the cards are beautiful.
Foil cards are they're so beautiful.
The cubes are very difficult to tell apart.
Cubes suck. Cards are great.
Cards are beautiful. Yeah.
Right? But if you want, in my opinion, the very best version of this game, and maybe I'm biased because I'm a comic book nerd, Marvel Remix, which Bob is going to show you right now what that looks like. Oh, wait. I thought you still had it. Marvel Remix for my dollar, right? For my $20, $24 from
I think it was like $20.
WizKids
Yep,
uh,
WizKids.
is so damn good and thematic. And yeah, who gets custody of Bob? Listen. As long as he's got Winston, my wife
Yeah,
gets custody. The second Winston's gone, I get custody back. I'm sure.
yeah, probably.
Oh, right
I
on,
love
Eric.
that novel series.
Right on,
Yeah,
man.
same. And I started reading it because he announced he was going to make a game, and I thought the books were phenomenal. And then, to be honest, I was let down by the game. I was really looking forward to make maybe something where they do like the battles when they're at the school, and you get the factions, and you're trying to build up tools and equipment and weapons, and you're fighting against the other factions or trying to lure people to your side. Like, I feel like the game could have been so much more, and then it turned out to just be like a lamer version of Fantasy Realms and Marvel Remix. So
Sure.
yeah.
Well, I wonder though, Bob, if your perspective is colored, no pun intended, a little bit by how difficult the components were for you with the deluxe edition.
Sure, like that could have had an effect, but still, like I've already played, a couple of really good games where you're like, picking a card up, adding to your hand, and putting a card down type of game,
Sure.
and I think it's more colored by the fact that I was hoping for a lot more
No, totally
of
fair.
a game in there.
Totally fair. And Eric even says that novel series is ripe for more games.
I hope so. Because it was fantastic.
Yeah, I have not read the books, but I
Mhm.
remember you telling us about some of the stuff because when we were playing it, because we were going to review it, you got you're not your Kickstarter, but your pre-order of the deluxe edition, and we were so excited, and you were like fired up. You're like, I just started listening to all the books. I'm like ready to go, and then we played it, and it's like, well, this is good, but, and then it was hindered because we struggled with the components. Those metal cubes are great in theory, but they need to be needed to be better distinct.
Yeah, distinguishable.
I don't know, I think I paid $5. I bought a Red Rising Deluxe Edition.
Oh, nice.
Because I wanted the gold foil.
The cards are amazing. Like the way they have they're stamped and they're have like the etching on them or whatever. Yeah, their cards are really nice looking. And then if you know the books, like they make a lot of sense because if you have this character in your hand, it works together. Almost like the Marvel Remix does, right? Where it's like it's very thematic about putting the guys together. And they did a good job with that. But like I was saying, like when he said he was making a book after playing, Tapestry, after playing Scythe, I was thinking like some dudes on a map type of thing, some fights and battles and building up your house or whatever. And to have it just be the card game, I was kind of let down. And it came in like such a big box for such so few components.
Right. So Nyx, it kind of was not colorblind compatible because here's the thing: is even people that did not have color issues still struggled with some of the colors.
Because I think it was like they were like a dark green cube and like a black cube, and they both just looked dark.
Yeah, I think for
on a white sheet of paper, you could tell the difference. But if you're just putting it on like the black board where it goes, the dark board didn't allow like any light to kind of go through the opaque.
I thought it was like a maroonish, red, purpley. I don't know.
Don't listen to my color description. I'm just going to put that out there.
No, but there was a couple colors that were very similar, and we even struggled as
as normies. Yeah,
as normies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was difficult.
Yeah.
I love
the color on the cards was fine. Like I could tell the cards apart very easily. Yeah.
Yeah, they did great with the cards.
The deluxe cubes that screwed it all up.
The deluxe cubes screwed it up. And the card art is great. Like 100% down the line. The card art looks so good. And that's why it would almost be better than Fantasy Realms because the art is so good on those cards. Fantasy Realms purposely just has very generic art.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never knock Fantasy Realms for that. But because Marvel Remix, I don't have the color issues when I'm playing with Bob, who I'm almost always playing games with when I'm playing games. And because of the theme, because I'm a comic book nerd, it just goes way above both. And so you have the tie-ins that make sense, right? You know, like, oh, these things connect, they add
Right.
up. You know, if I have Thor and I have Mjolnir, however you say the hammer, that makes sense. You
Yeah.
know, if I've got a villain that matches with these heroes, that makes sense. I really like that. Really thought it was really good. And so Marvel Remix, I will be repurchasing because I have yet to locate, um, uh, uh, yet to locate my copy for over a year now. Yeah, it's the opalescent wash on the cubes that screws them. It really is. But yeah, man, I'm really glad you brought up Marvel Remix. What a great version of Fantasy Realms.
Right.
But the nice thing is if you like that style of game, I feel like now there's actually 4 versions. I haven't played the Star Trek one, but I've not heard amazing things about that one. So, but there's at least four different themes that could pull you in
For
to
that
a
type of game.
really solid small box game. I know that Mike doesn't love it, but I enjoy Love Letter. Um,
Mm.
Love Letter is a good small box game, and it's a lot of like guessing of who has what.
Mm-hmm.
Love Letter can overstay its welcome a
Mm.
bit. Lovecraft Letter is the better version for me.
Yeah.
I also love that theme a bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I think Lovecraft Letter is really good. Uh, oh, Bob. Okay, weird tangent. Side note:
Uh-oh.
have you backed anything ever from Peterson Games?
I took a picture of that and I was going to send you that envelope.
Yeah. Did you get one? Okay. Okay. I was gonna ask you because I got 2 of them.
Oh, nice.
So if you didn't
Yes.
get one, I was gonna give you one so you could do it.
I appreciate it. Have you done it yet?
Nope.
I
I
haven't really
just got
looked at
mine
it.
today. I
That
just got
card
mine
was
today.
beautiful though.
Dude. Okay, so that's a Franchetta.
Yeah, it's a very famous picture. I've seen that picture before.
Yes,
It's
yes.
an old school RPG.
Yeah, that old D&D
Mhm.
first edition artwork, right?
Yeah, it was. I
Frank
love that artwork. Yeah.
Frank Franchetta. I know I'm saying it wrong, but it's something like that. Anyways, I wanted to make sure you had one because if you
Yeah.
didn't, I was going to give you my extra one so
Appreciate that.
you could do
Yeah.
it. Anyways, I gotta try to figure that thing out. Um,
Yeah.
Other amazing small box games. If you want one that's
Franzetta. Nix is
Franzetta,
on it. Yeah.
Nix knows. Come on, Nix knows. Frank Franzetta. I was so close, Nix.
Yep.
Um, Small box game, but if you want a small box game that will just beat the crap out of you, the Grizzled.
Oh yeah.
Man,
It's rough.
you want a small box co-op that is just filled with like this is a bad decision and this is the worst decision. Or maybe
Yeah,
both are just the worst.
it's almost like the damage mitigation. Like you're just trying to manage your PTSD and get through that.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Yeah.
rough.
The
Hmm.
Grizzled's really good. It's really good. It's really hard. It has amazing artwork.
Hmm.
Very true to the time. So it really gives you that World War I vibe. Um, and really great artwork. That reminds you. Oh, IV. Listen, I would love. IV was awesome enough to send us like Fractured Sky and some other games, and we've got to do videos on the other games. Fractured
Hmm.
Sky was super cool.
It was.
I love the style that IV Games is like working with, dude. Like
Yep.
their whole vibe. I'm here for it.
Yep.
I am here for it.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm gonna grab some ice.
Yeah, get your ice. Um, I know Bob liked the Grizzled. If you guys haven't played Lifeboat, that's another really mean, potentially co-op game. So Lifeboat, everybody's in a lifeboat, and you have a role, and you have not only a role, but you have somebody in the boat that you have a relationship with. And that relationship is going to help dictate how well you do in the game.
Yes, lifeboat was so much fun. You
Oh,
can throw somebody overboard, then chum the water. I mean,
right.
come on. That's fantastic.
But lifeboat, you also are trying to keep people alive because you love them or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, right. But lifeboat is a really good small box game. I've not played the sequel to it. I think Pete has the sequel, and I have Pete's copy of Lifeboat, and I might even have Pete's copy of the Grizzled.
Oh,
I don't remember. Um, but yeah, oh, Lifeboat's so treacherous. Oh, dude, Space Hulk. I speaking of games of Pete's that I have his copy of Space Hulk. Um,
nice.
but that's more of a solo, like you're laying out the cards,
Okay. Like a
and
solitaire.
yeah, and you've got to like put your Space Marines, in the right spot, facing the right directions. As
Mm-hmm.
the Tyranids or whatever they are coming at you. Um,
Pete's
um,
always sending me funny videos of like the Space Marines with like bad paint jobs and like the weird eyes.
oh
And they're
yeah,
like, brother.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Bob, do you remember Mini Steel?
Yes.
That
That
is
was a
the
fun little take
smallest.
that. That's
That
I think
is
the smallest box game I think we've played.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's literally like just a little cube. There's a lot of fun
yeah.
in that little cube though. If you like take that games, that was fun.
Mini Steel is a super fun little like let's just go back and forth
Mm-hmm.
kind of game. I'm gonna also like turn everybody on to Solus games, Solis, Solace games. Um, Not only Pocket Paragons, which is a really fun 1v1. It's almost rock paper scissors because some cards you can play will counter other cards, but you're simultaneously playing cards,
Right.
and it's a really fun like dueling game. But Space Lion is maybe about the size of the Donuts box or the Mission Control box, and we're gonna say
I
that
think
that
it's
counts.
closer to Cult of the Deep.
Well, maybe, but
And it's at the
Space Lion,
studio, so we can't compare it. So I guess
yeah, we
you're gonna
can't
get a
tell.
pass on it.
Listen, dude, you
Yeah.
can't prove me wrong. But Space Lion is super cool. Lane battler, asymmetric player powers. Everybody is playing as a different faction. They're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
different abilities, and just like Pocket Paragons, everybody's deck is completely different, and so you're gonna have different abilities. Now they might have a symbol that determines the type of ability that might be able to be countered or buffed based on whatever the other person's playing. But for the most part, all the decks are really unique.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket Paragons has a ton of expansions,
Yeah.
lots of stuff for it. And it's just one of those games that I think for the money that you could spend for, to get in, and especially if it's just you and one other person, or you need a good filler game, like hey, let's just go back and forth with this, because I love, and this is worth mentioning, Shards of Infinity. Shards of Infinity from I believe also Upper Deck. um,
Okay.
have you played Shards of Infinity yet?
I have not. I've seen you guys play the bejesus out of it. I've heard a bunch of funny stories, but I myself have not played.
Okay, so Bob, I have dusted Mike at this game. Dusted him. I love it when Mike sits down to a game and he's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good at this. Let's go." And I just smoke him, and then it's like, "What? What happened?
What happened? What
Yeah,
happened?
what happened? I got a
Yeah.
real wed wagon." When I can do that to Mike or you, it's so
Mm-hmm.
satisfying. Oh, chef's kiss. It's so satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you cut your teeth playing Shards of Infinity with Mike, and then you come up to the big dog, and then,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and then
Uh-huh.
we'll go. And
Okay.
then we'll
Well, we'll
go.
see. Well, same vein, I remember Mike was talking a bunch of trash about how good he was at foosball. And unbeknownst to him, is I had one of those like in my 20s for like a decade, and I smoked him, dude. It was awesome. I was like taking that ball, knocking it back and forth, and then fucking, and then kicking it into the goal. It was hilarious. I was like, what happened?
honestly, Bob, and you know this, there's nothing better than when somebody comes up to you and like steps to you, like, oh, I'm really good at this. You're like, okay, like
Let's go.
played.
Yeah, I played.
Let's-
I know how to play.
played.
You want to play?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. I love
And
it.
then you smoke 'em. It's the best feeling.
Especially because
ever.
Mike likes to talk so much shit about, like, oh, I'm really good at dexterity games. You know, I played a lot of sports back in the day. Okay, Mike, what's your record against me on Crokinole? Oh, that's what I thought.
Oh, okay. All right, Andrew. Okay, so have you ever tried to demo a game, but the person selling it was so bad at teaching or telling it, you just had to walk away? That's how Pocket Paragons was. Wow, Andrew. I don't.
Yes, to
expect
answer
you
your question, but yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, I don't expect you to remember who taught you Pocket
It was
Paragons. I wasn't at Origins, famously, thanks to the
Maybe,
memes.
yes, that's fair. That's fair.
But man, that sucks, dude.
It does
That
suck.
really sucks. Because
Especially if you kind of like are interested in the game, you're trying to check it out, but then like the person teaching you is just so lackluster, doesn't know what's going on, or it's just a bad teacher in general. You're just kind of like, okay, well maybe this game's not as cool as I thought it was. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's a bummer, dude. That's a bummer. And you know, maybe that dude had an off game. Maybe his pitch didn't land with you, but it worked with other people. Or maybe
sometimes they get randos. You know, sometimes they just hire people who don't really know anything about games. They kind of give them a little brief run through, and then they're just trying to give you that spiel.
So, Andrew, I unfortunately or fortunately had the benefit of learning it from the designer.
He knew how to play.
Brian McKay, I believe is his name. And then Chris Solis, who I also played with, like, yeah, they knew how to play. Yeah, I have plausible deniability. That's a bummer, dude. I wish you had a better experience. Bob, you remember because you were at this Geekway. What was the name? Oh, Kelly and I sat down to play a demo of a game.
Oh, yeah.
And we were pitched that the demo would be like 30 minutes because we're just demoing the game. And it turned out that they were trying to teach a full play of like a 1.5 to 2 hour game.
Yeah.
Commissioned.
Yeah.
And while the game was really interesting and not bad at all, we had commitments. We thought we were eating up
it's not what was pitched to you. You thought you were sitting down for like a 15, 20-minute demo, and you're like an hour in, like Kelly's like, this is still going.
Yeah.
You know?
And then like Patrick was walking by and was like, hey, are you coming? Because we're trying to start a game and we were hoping you were going to play with us. And you know, Patrick, he's super subtle.
Way subtle.
So subtle and rarely very clear with what he intends to say. You know, you have to interpret.
Yeah. I'm like gathering from your tone.
Or he's a mace coming in and just bludgeoning you. And that's thanks to him. I learned sometimes you just have to politely say, I need to get up and go.
We're good. You know, I think we have an idea how it works. Thank you.
Yeah. But... And my wife will never touch that game again, ever.
Did we find it cheap for her and get it for her or something like that? I thought I got it on a tray table or something.
We joked about it, but we never did. I did get a promo copy of a promo card.
That's what it was.
For her. And that's sort of the joke.
Yeah.
That's sort of the joke. But Andrew, I'm really sorry to hear that, dude. Let me just say, give it another chance. But if you need to wait until you play it with like me, you know what I mean? Or somebody that I would vouch for, do that. And if you play with me and you don't love it, it's all good. Oh, Googs, you missed out, dude. We've already totally shit on charcuterie and mission control for small box games. We're like, man, you want to play a small box game? Don't play these. Don't go to Barnes and Noble and buy mission control or buy charcuterie. All things we have not said at all tonight.
And I wanted to point this out as like, did Tim teach you that game or
hold up? Hold up. I'm going to say two things. First, Bob, you have taught me games wrong before.
What? Like what?
Secondly, moving on. Because you have, but not intentionally. Secondly, it may be a genetic thing because
it is. Your sister does it too. Totally. She totally does it. We were playing the Great Split, and I'm playing and I'm doing the teach, and she's like, "Are you sure?" And I go, "Yeah." Why? She's like, "Well, this is the third time I played it, and this is the third set of rules." I was like, "Well, congratulations, you're finally playing it right."
Nice.
Well, because I played it so much online too that they only had to like really look at the end of turn wrap up, and then because they were doing things at the wrong time. But
yeah, no, I mean it happens, right?
It
does.
You play so many, you look, you think you know what you're doing. You look at a rule and you're like, "Oh, I know that already," and you just kind of breeze over it.
Yes.
Like, oh, there was minutia in there I didn't quite grasp.
Yes, and that is 100% why Bob and I will sometimes teach games wrong. But in our defense, 99% of the time, the game that we taught or learned wrong, we got an idea and a vibe of the game, and you're like, usually it's like, oh, that makes the game way better, or that fixes...
I obviously play this game this way. It makes it so much cooler. And then you read the rule and you're like, oh, we can't do that.
Well, there's definitely been times where it's like, well, I would just house rule that we play the way we were playing because we liked it more.
Right. Or I would say they put that rule in a different font in a different spot in the book, and we didn't like notice it because we thought it was an irrelevant example and not a, hey, make sure you look at this type of thing.
Listen, I do not read the examples in the rule book unless I need clarification for the rule.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah. And if you think you understand it, you just play the way you think it interprets. And
I mean, here's like Bob, easily, you and I can say we have played thousands of games.
Easily,
right? We know how a lot of games are played. So, Now, if I'm going to do a teach video, I will make sure we teach all the rules correctly.
Yes.
But if I'm doing a brief overview of how we played the game, that is a brief overview of how we played the game and interpreted your rule sets.
We just need to start putting a little disclaimer on there being like, this is not the in-depth 100% how to play this. And,
right.
Yeah, do not take these rules to heart.
We try to say, like, that's the quick and dirty, like how you play. Like, here's an overview, blah, blah, blah. Right. I mean, some games the rules are so simple. What's really funny, though, is as many times as I played Ahoy Kitten, there was, first I played it wrong. Then I played it right. And then I played it wrong again because I didn't even look up the rules, but it had been like 3 weeks since I played it. And I was teaching new people, and I was overseeding the board.
The fish,
yeah. And I mean that was the worst thing I was doing. So the games were going too fast.
Right.
But at the same time,
that's not the worst thing.
No, I mean you still got the vibe of the game.
Yeah, because it's just like, okay, we all just had a round where everybody pointed at the same tile and nobody took anything, so you added an extra fish. It's really all it kind of like.
Right. And what I was doing was adding too many fish.
Right. You were doing 3 instead of 2.
Yeah, instead of 2 to the empty tiles.
Yep.
Not the end of the world.
Oh, I know.
Andrew, we just explained it. The first time we played it wrong, the way we played it wrong was
we weren't timing out.
If you banked your fish, you didn't have to miss a round.
Right.
So again, not the worst.
Not super game changing, but it does make a difference.
Not the worst.
Because then you're like, man, do I really want to cover if I'm going to be out the next turn?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now it adds a whole other level of strategy. Bob, since I don't have Mike here, who's famously terrible at trivia. Dude,
is it trivia? The trivia time?
It's trivia time. Okay.
Nice. You know what? I have a trivia game too. Let me grab my trivia game so I can ask you questions also.
Yeah. Do it. Let's goof around for a little bit. I don't have to work tomorrow. Anyways, out of all of this, guys, right? Small box games, do not overlook them. They're so important. They're critical to the hobby. They're wonderful to have in your game groups, and they're so good and so crucial to bringing
Yep.
people into the hobby that aren't
Yep.
normally into the hobby.
I would definitely say that's the sum up of this discussion is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
just
yeah.
because the box is small, judge it by its size. Do not. Okay. Because there could be a lot going on inside that box where you can have a lot of fun packed inside a tiny little box. So I keep trying to tell her anyway.
Ayo.
So I picked this up a while back.
Yes.
And I haven't, I'm not even sure if these cards are out of this plastic yet. But for basically this type of situation right here, right, just to kind of like screw around and answer the questions and see that, yeah, like for realsies, they're still in the plastic.
Nice.
So.
No, hey man, like seriously though, like again, those small box games are so accessible. They bring people in. They're great filler for the hardcore gamers, and yeah, they draw. Hey, oh, it's those small packages. They're way more interesting.
Kelly never knew that she was into bald guys until she was into one.
True story. True story. Bob, it's your turn to stretch. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Hi everybody. Welcome to the show. Yeah, but I'm really glad that I'm going to get to be joining everybody for these Whiskey Wednesdays now. Not the only reason why I quit my job, but it was admittedly a decent size reason why I left, because I want to be able to do more for the channel, including like being able to do more like how to play videos and things like that, like during the week, helping get like B-roll and stuff for our editor so we can edit more videos. Donnie, hello. Welcome. And then what was this? A great D&D story. Trevor wants a D&D story. Not D&D, but it was definitely role-playing related. We were playing, I think it's called Brave New World, and everybody's got superpowers and whatnot. It's like a different alternate history type of game. And there was a time when my friend Greg, who was previously mentioned earlier, he had like this guy who was really good with explosives and stuff. And then Tim's first wife, who was really good with the role playing, he also mentioned earlier, she had like this mind control person. And so he kept warning her, don't mess with me, don't mess with me. And she did. So while she was sleeping, he took all the timing pins out of her grenades. And we had a guy who was like super fast runner, Matt, the other tall friend that was previously mentioned earlier. He asked Tim's ex for her grenades because he was going to go throw them into this room with these people. Well, Greg couldn't go like, wait, don't use those. I took the timing pin out. And so he runs up there and he pulls the pins and he's like, fruit basket, bitch. And he goes to throw these grenades in there and kaboom. And yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
You told the fruit basket story?
I did. They wanted a D&D story. I said, well, it's not D&D, but that's just one of my favorite little stories about role playing with a bunch of people that we had talked about previously. And
was
then
that
Greg taking over
Cyberpunk or Brave New World? I don't remember.
It was Brave New World because they were superheroes.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Lingle. Oh, hold on one quick second. Tom, I quit Schaefer. So I used to work with Tom at Schaefer. He quit long before I did. He wisened up long before me. He does come to a lot of the Meeple meetups. Haven't seen him recently, but hopefully he will be making it out soon. And be able to come hang out more.
Yeah. No, yeah. Tom's
I know, right? Dude. Couch Mike got an upgrade.
He did.
Yeah. Donnie.
There's Donnie, our boy.
Yeah.
Then, you bringing up the stock. That is 100% factual. And yes, Nix, of course.
Yes. I saw the light. I did. I don't think they took me seriously when I said that I would leave because I've been there for so long that I guess it happens.
Has to happen.
Yep.
All right, Bob.
Are you ready?
Oh, are you going to ask me first and I'll ask you next?
Sure.
Ooh, whatever. Wow, I can give you one.
Oh, here you go. All right. The belt of giant strength. exists in how many varieties corresponding to the different types of true giants? It's a tough one.
Oh my god!
I know, right? How many types of giants are there, basically?
6. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's 6.
Is it
It's
really?
6. Yeah.
I totally made that up.
I was like, are you kidding me? What a ripoff. I thought I was going to stump you. I was like trying to name them up, like Frost Giant, Hill Giant, Fire Giant. I was like, I don't know if I could get to 6. I probably would have stopped at 5. But yeah, that's hilarious.
Seriously, just
Could you see the back? Is that what happened? Or did it cover the back of the car?
I can see through it. All right, Hoop, here you go. You ready?
Oh boy. Let's see. 6. Oh.
This is strangely right up your alley. So Shit for Brains, celebrity sightings. So these will all be questions related to celebrities.
Okay.
And Shit for Brains is the name of the trivia game. So I'm not just
not just call me Shit for Brains. It's just
right.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This party sucks. What deceased actor claimed he was once kicked out of an orgy for staying in character as the superhero he portrayed on TV? So he's dead. So that's a clue. It's older.
How is that up my alley?
Dude, what?
Wow, superhero.
Uh-huh.
It's now dead. He's oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank on his name? The dude who played Superman.
Not Christopher Reeves.
It's not Christopher Reeve?
Nope.
Okay, that would have been my guess.
All right. It's
otherwise
Adam
West. It's all my second time. I got it on my second guess. Yep. Nick's had it. I should have read the comments.
Yeah, Nick's had it.
Yeah. It had to be one of those two. That's the only really two famous people that are dead that played superheroes. Because Lou Ferrigno is still alive, right?
He's still there. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Because he was my first thought, but I was like, no, I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
And also, are you playing the Hulk? I mean, I don't know why you're playing as Batman in an orgy, but
well, you get the utility belt with all the fancy gadgets on it. That's right. That's funny.
Your turn there, Bob.
Yeah, that one's too easy.
Ask it. I probably get it wrong since I got the giant one right.
No, yeah, I know, but the name gives it away. But here's another one. What was the first D&D campaign setting product published by TSR?
Okay, campaign setting product.
Mm-hmm.
Dragonlance?
No, it was in 1980. Dragonlance was much later.
Okay.
There's really two old school settings, and it's not the one you're thinking.
Well, I mean, I was thinking Dragonlance. Is it that one?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, I would say advanced. I mean, that's the only thing I know is the advanced.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh, Greyhawk. Never heard of it.
Yep. No?
No.
Okay.
What was the easy one? What was the easy one you passed up?
Okay, here's the easy one. The Cloak of Arachnid grants the wearer resistance to what type of damage?
Wait, the Cloak of Arachnid?
The Cloak of Arachnid.
Well, Arachnid is spider damage, but that's not a type of damage.
Sure, but what type of damage do the spiders typically give you?
Poison?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That one seemed way too obvious to me.
I almost said web damage, but that's not a thing.
No.
All right, Bobby.
All right.
Here you go.
Super brains.
We're back to celebrities.
Oh boy. I don't know, buddy. It's okay. They're letting off fireworks and Winston's freaking out.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
I know. It's okay, bud.
What
All right.
iconic pop star has her own sterilization team tasked with removing her DNA from performance venues?
What year did this come out?
Well, think our age.
Madonna?
Yep. That's it.
All right.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much. Eric knows
funny.
what's up.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. Who created Forgotten Realms?
Oh.
He
don't
wrote
know.
many a books.
Okay, confession.
Elminster's his boy.
I've only ever read out of the D&D books. I've only ever read the Dragonlance novels. So if it's not like Tracy Hickman or
Margaret Wise.
yeah, then I don't know.
Nope.
Is it Isaac Vega?
It is not. No more guesses from the chat.
Ed Greenwood?
Lingle's on it. Are you Googling Lingle? It is Ed Greenwood.
Hey,
Yep.
I'm just glad Lingle's here, man. I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the one. He created Elminster and a lot of that. So, yep. It was Ed Greenwood. Nice.
All right. All right, Bob. Here you go.
Yep.
Celebrity. They're just like us. What phone throwing celebrity was threatened to be kidnapped by Al Qaeda, received prank calls from Michael Jackson without ever having met him, and used to smoke 60 cigarettes a day and often has a difficult time parting from his horse co-stars when shooting finishes? So he loves the horses that he's in movies with. Michael Jackson used to prank him, and he throws his phone at people.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, I know like a guy who loves his horses because I remember what's his name? The dude that played the Ranger in Aragorn in
Nope, it's not Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, I was say I know he was really. I saw a big thing about him and the horses, and him buying a bunch of the horses for the actors and stuff, and that was some really good stories with him. But I never heard of him throwing a phone. Man, prank calls from Michael Jackson.
I know that's weird, but how about South Park made fun of this guy?
Doesn't narrow it down. Tom
I
Cruise.
know, that's everybody. No, Schrader.
Huh?
Not Scientology. Australian.
Oh, Steve Irwin?
No. Actor.
Australian actor. Oh, the dude who played Wolverine.
No.
No, I don't know.
He played Robin Hood.
Played
And he was
Kevin
in
Costner's
Gladiator.
Canadian. Oh, Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Farting around the world.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, here's an easy one for you, Tim. It's a visual clue. Well, not a visual clue, but it's has to do with it. In the Dungeons and Dragons animated series, Presto wears robes and a pointed hat of what color?
Oh my God. Are they? I'm sure I'm getting my wires crossed. Are they red? Purple? Green?
You're gonna eventually. You keep naming off colors, but they are green. Yeah,
no
Nick's
doubt.
had it.
No doubt.
Yeah, they are green.
Nick's had it.
I have that box set DVD.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That cartoon almost made me afraid, but what it made me want to get on roller coasters more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because isn't that how they got into the D&D world? Is they got on that
Yep.
roller coaster? And
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And short little trivia thing. So that was a big show on Saturday morning when I first moved to Indiana. And I did not want to move to Indiana back in the 80s. And it was like one of the first Saturday mornings I turned on the TV and that show came on. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And I was like, maybe Indiana's not so bad. Because I thought it was a Indiana thing, didn't know how TV worked.
Listen, man, whatever it takes.
Yeah. But no, it was, I loved that show. Like and if a little bit of trivia, I don't know if you've watched the new D&D movie where they finally made a good D&D movie. So good. And you see the cameo of the people from the show in the movie. And I thought that was a fantastic little Easter egg.
In the labyrinth.
Yep. Okay. Side trivia. What was the barbarian's name?
I don't know.
Tim.
I don't know.
Oh, what's my name? No,
Bob.
What's my name?
Oh, okay.
It's Bobby.
Bobby.
The barbarian. Mm-hmm. But rewatching that, I realized how annoying the unicorn was. All the time.
Yeah. Here's a trivia alert for everybody watching. You have to be cool with Bob to be able to call him Bobby. Just gonna say that.
I don't necessarily respond to that. Like growing up, I was that, and so like when I was teenager, like younger, I went by Bobby, but now I don't really care for it so much. But there's a select few that get away with it.
I forced my way into that select few.
Well, once you've known me for 20 some years, it's allowed, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
I can't say that Bob loves it, but every once in a while, I'm like, Bobby.
Yeah.
And I yell at him like that because I love him.
Yeah.
But he knows that. So
yeah,
it's a little different. Because what's funny, Bob, is the same way. Is there some people that will call me Timmy? And if I don't know you like that, I hate it. If I know you like that, it's extra endearing because for some reason I feel like that just means you know me better.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, you ready, Bob?
Ooh, wait, what's this? Hold on one second. The new edition.
Oh,
is a cameo art.
Nice.
Okay. Nice.
I can dig it.
Yeah. All right. Go for it.
Here we go. What 90s sitcom star and Pixar voice actor said, I've been on food stamps and welfare. Anybody help me out? No. While complaining about government funding being provided to the poor during a 2009 Fox News interview.
That there is so much gold in that whole question. I'm trying to think of who it could be now. But yeah, I've heard people talk like that.
90s sitcom star.
90s sitcom star.
But also a Pixar voice actor. And no, it is not Tim Allen.
That was a good guess.
It's a really good guess.
Yeah, he would be on Fox.
The other clue in this
give me
the title of this question is Financial Coach.
That clue does not help. How about a better clue?
One of those words is more important than the other. It might even be the name of the sitcom that they were on. One of those words.
Financial?
No.
Clue? Clue was a sitcom?
No. I said two words, and Clue was not one of them as far as the extra clue.
You said okay, you said financial what?
Coach.
Oh, what's that guy's name?
He's in Poltergeist. He's in The Incredibles.
Yeah. Hold on.
Do not look at Evan's comments because he's
Craig
way
T.
off.
Nelson.
Yeah, you got it. Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah.
Way to show your ass, Craig T. Nelson. I really liked you until then.
I love that. I was on food stamps. Nobody ever helped me. Wait,
No.
what?
What do you think food stamps were?
What do you think that is? Yeah. That's funny. All right.
Evan, don't you dare disparage Mr. T.
I pay
Let me
the
just say
fool
that.
who think it's Mr. T.
I pay the fool that disparage Mr. T. Respect your mother.
Oof. That's a tough one. All right. Well, let's see. How are you with Forgotten Realms and their religious symbols?
Probably bad.
Okay, good. In the Forgotten Realms, the deities Maliki and Luri share what image as their symbol?
Wait, say them again.
Maliki and Luri. Let me see if I can get this up here. Like, can you see that? It's too blurry. It's not focusing.
No.
Focus right here. Nope.
Oh,
It's
hell.
Mielikki. Right, Maliki. I've heard that. I've heard of her, and
I'm
not
gonna
sure
go
who.
with. I'm gonna go with Nix's guess.
No. Nope. It is a unicorn's head.
Okay.
I remember seeing that in the book with the Maliki and the horn and the circle around it. It looks like there's a moon behind it. And actually, yeah, it does say Maliki's unicorn has a golden horn, whereas Luri's unicorn is silver and framed by a moon. So we will give Nix a half point for the moon answer.
And
Eric gets the full point.
6'7".
That's right.
Eric gets the full point
This
for
is
full
true.
height. All right, Hoop, you ready for this? Oh,
Okay.
am I buffering? Oh, okay.
Nope.
Also, I never bothered to even ask you because I'm that kind of friend. Does it bother you when I call you Hoop?
No. And
Okay.
actually, like, so where I work at, there's another Bob.
Uh-huh.
And so like, oh no, what are we going to do? And, blah, blah, blah. So I said, also acceptable is Hoop or Hooper. I've been called that a lot. So,
Okay.
yeah. Nerds. What's up, Andrew? Wait.
I try to be like sort
Hey, look,
of
I'm Andrew.
respect. Oh, where'd those sleeves go?
That's right.
That's Andrew.
Sun's out, guns out, baby.
Hold on. Those arms were too buff to be Andrews. Let's go. Okay. All right, Bob. This question is called, he touched a lot of kids.
Oh, jeez.
You ready?
Yeah.
The host of what beloved children's TV show had the middle name of McFeely?
I mean, I would say Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Because there was Mr. McFeely as was the mailman.
Yeah.
I didn't know that his middle name was McFeely.
I did not either.
But there you go.
Yeah. I hear you, Donnie. That's
right. We love you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Throw me another D&D question that I'll get wrong.
Yep. Okay, here you go. You might grab this. You might get this one. No.
6 hill giants.
You're just gonna stick with that. That was the winning answer once. Which humanoids? So that's your thing. Humanoid, often played as characters, are immune to the paralytic touch of ghouls.
Is it elves?
It is. Yes, elves. The first ghoul was a former elf who petitioned the elf gods for intervention in his hour of need.
Yes. Yes.
Man, this makes me want to play some Pools of Radiance. I haven't played that game in so long.
This does remind me a little bit of one time Bob was running a D&D campaign, and we go down into a dungeon, and Bob accidentally refers to an NPC as a doppelganger. And then we're all like, we kill it. And you're like, it's not a bad guy. We're like, what is a doppelganger? It's a copy. We must kill it.
They're not automatically bad.
Do you remember that?
I do, yes.
It kind of derailed stuff, and I'm sorry for that.
It's fine. But to be honest and to be fair, what D&D campaign hasn't been derailed?
Well,
in one form or another. We'll rent this house next door, and we will zip line across over the wall. He's like, it's a 3-foot wall. Like
it was a 6-foot edge.
Yeah, step over it.
No. We must rent the house across.
No, we're gonna rent the house. That's right.
Oh my
Playing the long
God.
game.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Oh no, Andrew has a very important question.
It's okay, buddy. No, when they shave him down to give him his haircut, I just collect all the fur, and that way, I always have this to remember him by.
Nice, Evan.
Nice.
Yeah, I meant to do that. That's so.
They were all Wesley Snipes. Yeah.
And R.I.P. Winston. All right.
He's thinking that right now. He's looking pretty sad. It's okay, bud. I know.
Oh, we're almost done.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just me. It's the fireworks popping.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. I went upstairs when you had to fill, and Remy saw me running around up there, and he's like, and I'm like, no, buddy, I'll take you out.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'll hang out with you. We got a puppy named Remy. I will share pictures later.
Yep.
Okay, Dookie, Mr. Hooper.
Hit me.
Happy days. What actor most noted for his role as a karate teacher spent the bulk of his childhood in the hospital after contracting spinal tuberculosis, only to be released into a Japanese internment camp?
Mr. Miyagi.
Yes. Do you know his real name?
No.
Okay.
I was going to try to look it up, but what is it?
Pat Morita.
Okay.
Next, dude. That is heartbreaking, sir. I am so sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I'm
that
so
sucks.
sorry.
It's never easy.
We have, we've lost pets before, and they are 100% family members. That's never easy, man. So my thoughts to you guys go out there. And yes, Evan and Donnie and Nix.
They all knew his actual name.
They all knew the real name.
He is known to me as Miyagi.
Miyagi.
Well, that's me now.
It is you now.
Oh, you won't know that one. Oh, okay, here you go. I'm not even going to look at it to see if the answer. It says Dragonlance, so let's test your Dragonlance stats here. In Dragonlance, after Raceland passed his test, he was cursed to see the ravages of time on all things through eyes with the pupils of what shape?
Oh, hourglasses.
Yeah, I don't have to look at the answer to know you're right on that one. Yep.
So
that was easy.
I don't expect you to know the one that I just drew. Could you name any of the Bee Gees by name?
By name? No.
Yeah, okay. So I'm skipping that one.
Okay.
Okay. This is for our Detroit viewers.
Ooh.
You ready, Bob?
Yep.
What rocker with Detroit roots was angered by the University of Oklahoma's school paper for publishing his tour rider, which included the following request? This is a no banana tour. Seriously. We don't want to see any bananas in the building.
Detroit rocker.
Yeah, do you know what a tour rider
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, so when you're going on tour, you say like, "Oh, I want to have like Skittles in a bowl, but I only want like the yellow ones or something like that."
Right,
And basically,
right,
all
right.
list of all the things that you want to have.
Right.
There. So I mean,
And
I would say, ooh, Nuge. That's a good guess. I'm sad I looked at that already. I wouldn't have guessed Ted Nuge.
So famously, right? The whole idea of having like a weirdly specific thing is to see if they're paying attention.
See if they read it. Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna guess Kid Rock, but Ted Nugent sounds like a better guess.
Is Nugent your guess?
No, I'm gonna go with Kid Rock.
Rock is your guess?
Yeah.
The right answer is in the comments.
Jack White.
From the White Stripes, baby.
I never would have guessed that. I didn't even know they were from Detroit.
I didn't know he was from Detroit either. I know he lives in like Nashville now, but I didn't know he was from Detroit.
Yeah.
And yeah. So Nick's the whole brown thing M&Ms. Is that the brown M&Ms was just put in there to see if concert promoters were paying attention. It's not that they actually care. Oh, and somebody wants the Bee Gees question. Let me give you the Bee Gees question.
Is that you banging?
That is fireworks at my neighbor's house. I can see the flashes.
Wow, they're really loud.
They're literally right next door because I can see the flashes through the window in my basement. So hopefully Remy's cool.
Right.
Oh, dude. Eric, that's awesome. I love Jack. I love the White Stripes. So which Bee Gees member narrowly escaped a deadly train accident in 1967 that killed 49 people? And it is not Barry Gibb. Because Bee Gees stands for Brothers Gibb, if you didn't know.
Did not. I know BA stands for Brothers Awesome.
It does, and they are.
They are.
No, it's not Slim Gibb. It was Robin Gibb. All right, give me one more. I will give you one more, and then I'm going to make you do an autocorrect.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. You don't know Greyhawk, so I'm going to skip those. There's like a bunch of Greyhawk questions.
Holy shit.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Here you go. The Lich, and later Demi-Lich, Acererak, was the master of which dungeon?
Is it the Tomb of Annihilation?
Close.
What is it?
The Tomb of Horrors.
Oh, God. I played through that module.
I know. I'm pretty sure we played through some of that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I've died in it many times.
Well, sure. Yep. Nick's had it. He was all over it. Oh, yeah, Lingle's on it too.
Lingle had it.
One more quick one off this one. This is not what I would have guessed, especially having read a lot of books with them in them. What is the typical alignment of a deep gnome, the Zerneflin?
Is that chaotic neutral?
Neutral good.
Okay.
Not what I have guessed. I thought that they were either chaotic good or maybe even evil. But
yeah, I wasn't sure if they would be evil, but I thought chaotic would be in there.
Yeah. Which I don't think it's right to judge a race, a whole race on its alignment. That's kind of like not cool. But
This one's a little too salty for prime time, so let me find a different one.
Ooh, salty. Yes, Dorgar are the evil dwarves. That's why I kind of like, because I thought the Dorgar and the Sir Nephilim like work together a little bit, which is why I kind of leaned more toward the evil.
Right.
And then the Drow, yeah. I mean, that's why a lot of the Underdark races had tended to be,
Usually it's like neutral evil, lawful evil.
Yeah,
that
something
kind of
to
thing,
that
right?
effect. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Martha Stewart dated what British actor in the early 90s, but broke it off with him because she was unable to separate him from the psychopath he portrayed on film?
British actor.
British actor portraying a psychopath on film. Won an Academy Award, or at least was nominated.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time thinking of his name. The dude who played Anthony Hopkins?
Yeah. Yes, Bob. I was like, it's a Jonathan Demme movie.
I was thinking like Hannibal Lecter. I'm like, who played Hannibal Lecter? Who played Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah. I would have given that to you, but yes, Anthony Hopkins, full points. Nice. Good job.
Nice. Thank you. Mr. Bean, nice.
Yeah.
If you're breaking up with Mr. Bean, there's something wrong with you. Okay.
No
Mr.
doubt.
Bean is a catch.
Yeah. Rowan Atkinson is a catch.
Rowan Atkinson. He's awesome.
And I will get the names for that. Oh, speaking of which, Bobby, if you have not watched Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, find it on Prime and watch it right now.
All right.
Yeah. Just leave the show. Have you watched, the IT Crowd? You watch the IT Crowd?
Oh, yeah. I love IT Crowd.
Yeah. Okay, so you're already in. So Garth Marenghi's Dark Place is, it's a fake. Oh, also Matthew Berry.
Is it A Dark Place or Dark Places?
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. When you start to type it in, it'll show up. It's got Matthew Berry.
Oh, nice.
Okay. It is basically like if a British Stephen King had a show on the BBC that he starred in.
Oh.
Because he's like, I've written more books than I've read. And he's very pretentious about it. And Matthew Berry plays one of the doctors. It takes place in a hospital that is built on an Indian burial ground that is...
But is Matthew Berry, is he playing like an actual human? Total human person?
A total human doctor. Oh my God. He is the friggin' best.
Yeah.
Have you seen that supercut of him with women where it's like,
oh yeah.
Oh,
let me help you with that, love. This one goes to my sister. Okay, how you doing? This one goes to my best friend over there. Hi, how you doing, love? This one goes to my boyfriend. Oh, fuck off. And he drops the whole tray and drinks and walks away. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's great.
So think of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I loaded it on my Prime. So actually, let me make sure I have added it to my watch list. It is on the watch list.
There's only 6 episodes. They're not very long.
Sure.
But it's got the, I can't think of his name. Richard Ayoade. How do you say his name?
Yeah. I can't pronounce his last name either, but he's hilarious. He was in the Neighborhood Watch or whatever it was.
He was in the Watch.
He's hilarious. I'll just put this fire with the rest of the fire.
Yes. He's in it. Matthew Berry, you're in. There's nothing else you need. Right. You're going to love the show. It's awesome. Great.
All right.
It's great. All right, here we go.
Autocomplete, right?
Autocomplete. So this is an incredibly accurate game from, I don't know, I think we said 2018.
Okay.
Maybe 2016. If you were to type this into Google, these are the top 10 autocomplete suggestions you would get. Gotcha. Are you ready, Bob? This is the perfect one. I just drew the first one I found, and this is perfect.
All right.
Everything makes me What?
Happy?
No. Other
Horny?
side of the spectrum. No.
Sad?
That is number 4.
Angry?
Number 2.
Annoyed?
No.
Everything makes me upset.
Closer.
Sad? Did I say sad already?
Sad is number 4.
Makes me cry.
Number 1.
Cry and sad are like the same friggin' thing.
Yeah, well, you're going to have that.
Okay. Everything makes me
Small bucks games suck, and that's not why I play games in this hobby.
angry.
Yeah, number 2.
Okay. I thought I said angry.
If you did, I missed it.
Okay. So I got 2, 1, 2, 4. Okay.
Yeah, if you yeah, Donnie, you're always number 1, man. You are always number 1. How about if you do you remember back in the day when we would do a Kung Power Hour where you drink a shot of beer a minute
Yeah.
for Kung Power? How did you feel while doing that?
Drunk?
No. Before you got drunk, you felt
Tipsy? Bloated?
bloated. Everything makes me bloated. Is one of the answers.
Might
White
be
Castle.
celiacs. Yeah.
No, that's
Poop?
a clue.
Oh. Everything makes me hungry?
Sound and fury signifying nothing. White Castle.
What?
Sound and fury signifying nothing. So if White Castle, you said poop.
Yeah.
What?
Fart.
Yes, or gassy. Same.
Gassy.
Both.
I'm
Yeah.
so gassy.
Yeah. Sound and fury signifying nothing, right? Where it's like a whole bunch of farts. You're like, I didn't even poop. I just didn't
I see where
fart a
you
lot.
went with that.
Yeah,
Sound
I
and
got
fury. Okay.
Did you? No. It's tough because some of these are like the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
All right, next one.
Okay.
You get like 8 out of 10 out of those because it's close enough, right?
The ones you didn't say were like nervous, anxious, burp.
Okay.
Mad.
See, like burp and gassy is like the same thing.
It's kind of the same thing, but they all
coming out the other end.
gassy and fart. And again,
Oh.
same thing.
Yeah, same thing. No.
You ready?
I hope so.
Movies with lots of blank.
Boobies.
I will give it to you at number 5. It's sexuality.
Okay, so not nudity.
And yes, Donnie,
that is a Shakespearean fart. That's what that is.
That is Hold on. Everybody should know I may come off as lowbrow and dumb, but I steal a lot of really important lines to make me sound way smarter than I actually am.
What's that from?
Okay. Sound and Fury signifying nothing. I don't think it's from Macbeth, but it might be. But it's definitely Shakespeare. It is Shakespeare.
Yeah, Evan's got some good guesses on there. Let's do car chases.
Nope.
Gunfights.
Guns. So yes.
Okay. Like karate or kung fu.
No.
Fight scenes. No.
Yeah, I think it is Hamlet, Donnie. I think you're right. Donnie's a lot classier than I am, but I think Sound and Fury signifying nothing is from Hamlet.
Okay.
which is also a great reference to like a lot of like political people, or
Yeah. Yeah.
movies
Full of
with
bluster.
lots. Yeah. Movies with lots of blank. You like
Um,
one of these. One of these is a movie, a style of movie that I know you love. That people that don't know you would not think, but people that know you would know you love movies with lots of this.
parodies,
No,
cameos.
no. You're gonna be so mad when I tell you what it is.
I will be.
It's the number one.
Oh, geez. Movies with lots of.
If I had some cups, I would be doing this while I tell you about it.
Oh, like songs,
Singing.
singing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do enjoy my musicals.
Yes, I know.
Yep.
And you wouldn't know that if they didn't know
Yeah.
you.
That's true.
But
But
you
now
do
everybody
love-
knows.
But
Yeah.
you do love movies with
do.
lots of singing
I do. Appreciate a
and
good
cup
musical.
stacking specifically.
That's true.
What's funny is I knew that would be the clue that would get you.
Yeah.
Even though I know you also love like A Mighty Wind and other things like that. But,
Right.
But I knew that
Well,
Pitch
yeah.
Perfect would be the clue to get you there versus me wanting to go to A Mighty Wind instead.
You should be like, well,
there's pork on the pot.
That's such a great movie.
Oh my god, it's my favorite.
I
Cheerleader Pyramids. Angsty
think
Teens.
that falls angsty teens.
Mystery.
Yeah, like a murder mystery. How about Intrigue?
You know what's weird? It's not there.
Movies with lots of spies.
Man, these suck. Honestly.
Yeah. Who's looking for these crappy movies? What crappy movies do people look for in the?
No, well, I mean, what I will say is I'm going to give you two of them, and you're going to go, yeah, that applies because you do love these kinds of movies.
Okay.
But you would not have characterized it this way.
Okay.
Number two, because number one was singing.
Yep.
Number two is movies with lots of characters. I mean, Star Wars, lots of characters.
There's characters in every movie.
Right. But more than
unless you're doing like Blair Witch Project. Okay, there's like 3.
Right. Yeah. If you're not watching like a two-hander, right?
Yeah.
But how about this one? But like I will give Tarantino credit, right? Like there's some really good Tarantino movies with lots of characters. No.
Oh, okay.
I was just still on the characters. But you do like this one. Oh, here we go. The Blair Witch Project, which is a D&D Trivial Pursuit question.
I like it.
And no, we're not talking about birdemic or birds. But how about movies with lots of sequels?
Okay, I could see that.
I mean, we like Star Wars. You and I both like Star Wars, right?
Yeah, and I mean, and if you want to have like movies that have like more of a story than just one movie, then you might do sequels. So
and we like Lord of the Rings, and stuff like that.
I can see that search.
Oh wait, you said boobies, right?
I did.
Okay, so I'm going to give you this one.
Okay.
Movies with lots of sexuality.
Yeah, you gave me that one already when I said boobies.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah, you said that one.
I've been.
But I'll take it. I'll take it again because every one boob deserves another one.
You
gotta two usually. No offense to our people out there with just one, but.
But if you only have just one, we recommend playing just one from Repo's Games.
It's a great small box game. Bring it full circle.
And then we got canceled. Hey, Mike, welcome back to
Thanks for joining us for the last edition of Board Game Rundown.
Mike, thanks for coming back to the show. We got completely canceled.
That's right.
All right. Bob, we're going to do one more autocomplete.
All right, one more.
We'll call it a night. This is a pretty good one.
Okay.
Autocomplete John.
316?
No. That's a good guess.
The Baptist.
They're all people, not biblical.
John Carpenter.
No.
John Cena.
Yes, number 1.
Johnny Depp.
No, but I don't know who number 2 is, and I can't wait for people to correct me. But number 3, I love, and he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, John Candy. I was getting ready to go there, Tom.
Candy's not in there, but I think it's because he's been dead for too long. I mean, you got to remember, he's been dead for 30 years before this game came out.
Holy shit. Yeah.
I mean, he died in the 90s.
That's crazy.
But he's such a big part of our childhood.
John. Is it John Hamm?
He's not on here, but John Hamm is great.
Yeah.
Evan, John Bonham was dead way before even John Candy. And John
John Leguizamo. He's funny.
Might be one of my favorite drummers of all time. Leguizamo is not on here.
Wow.
More modern, and then there's like one really old.
Okay. John.
And by old, I mean like 50s, 60s. Who's like the most handsome John you could ever imagine? Whatever happened to predictability? Evening TV. Come on.
I know that song.
Yeah, you do. Everywhere you look. Come on, it's TGIF. There's a famous John. And it wasn't Dave Coulier or come on.
What is his name? I can picture him in my head. He was the uncle, the cool uncle.
He was Uncle Jesse.
Yes.
John Stamos.
John Stamos. Good Lord. I knew I could see him.
Oh, Evan's giving clues. Yeah, Rebecca Romaine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not anymore, because now she's married to Jerry O'Connell, the lucky bastard.
Oh.
Yeah, Uncle Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a few other Johns, and not John Bon Jovi, which would have been a good one. And not John Hancock. And not John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
I was going to guess John Hancock for the older one, but he's more than 50s.
Look here, Pilgrim.
John Wayne.
Yes, sir.
John Wayne Gacy.
Well, not that one. Herbie Hancock. No Tommy Boy love here. Let's see. One is a famous singer. He's married to Chrissy Teigen, or was last time I paid attention. He won an Oscar for La La Land. He's black. He plays piano. He's a musician. His last name is the
John
name
Baptiste?
Nope. His last name is the same name as a famous movie from the 80s starring Tim Curry and Tom Cruise.
I think Donnie got it. John Legend?
Yes, John Legend.
Yeah. Thanks, Donnie.
How about, come on, the greatest John? He was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He was also in Whatever Happened to Llewyn Davis, which was another Coen Brothers movie that you may not have seen. But I know you've seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah. Isn't he the guy who was also the Jesus?
He was, no, that's John Turturro.
Okay.
I'm talking about the one-eyed Bible salesman.
Oh, John Goodman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Roseanne.
Yes. That would have been too easy if I had given that away.
That would have been too easy. I do like the Bible salesman.
Yeah, I had to go further around because I knew you'd get it too easy. How about the John that can kill you with anything?
Wick?
Yes. Yes. How about the John that likes to look at the camera and like mug a little, and he hooked up with Pam?
Krasinski
yes, John Krasinski.
Yeah.
How about a John that was a war hero that Donald Trump famously said war heroes don't get caught?
John McCain.
Yes, sir. Because Trump was really wrong about that one, amongst about a million other things. But hey, listen, John McCain was a fucking war hero. Don't care about your politics.
I prefer presidents that weren't indicted, but sure.
No doubt. And convicted.
Yeah.
Okay. How about a John that is English and does a killer job of skewering politics and modern day society?
Stewart.
Since Jon Stewart left.
Not Jon Stewart?
Nope, he's British.
Oh, John Oliver.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. John Oliver's good too.
We got them all.
Sweet.
Wait, the one we didn't get, and I want to know if anybody can get this for me. Who's John Harrison? Anyone? I'm waiting for anyone. Yeah, Eric got John Oliver. Yeah, there's a bunch. John Goodman. Yeah, you guys are crushing it. I don't know. Yeah, I love Last Week Tonight, Eric. Bobby, if you're not watching Last Week Tonight, it's so good.
Yeah, I do watch a lot of it. I haven't seen all of them, but I do watch a lot of Last Week Tonight.
Yeah, I don't watch all of them either, but when I do watch them, I'm really glad I did.
Apparently, John Harrison is an ice cream tester.
What?
I don't know. I just Googled him. That's what he says.
I don't know who that dude is.
I don't know who that dude is either.
He tans too much.
Anyways.
I'm gonna see something real quick. I'm gonna see if I can. Oh wait, I'm opening this box wrong. See if I got one last good one. Oh, here you go, Bob.
Okay.
I've got a different trivia game called Bluff Trivia. I don't know the rules. I've never read them, but Cunning Concoctions Bluff Trivia. But this is a legit trivia question, and you need to know the answer. Reed, dude, you're so late. We talked about Catnip Auction House. We talked about how you're a shark at TCGs. Dude, you're here. Yeah, what I was thinking is John Thomas. The director of the original John Harrison was not that director of the original Dune. That was David Lynch. Andrew, dude, it's gonna be great, dude.
Yep,
it's gonna be awesome.
Good to see you.
The U.S. Trivia with the Eagle, Rob Thomas. We're all over the place now. Okay, Bobby.
Yes.
What volcano destroyed Pompeii in 79 A.D.?
Mount Vesuvius.
You got it, dude. Also,
I mean,
one of the greatest board games ever made.
In a relatively small box.
It is a small box. Bob, which
yes.
Christopher Columbus ship ran aground his first voyage?
The Nina?
Try again. You got two more
Pinta?
choices. You got
the Santa Maria?
The Nina, the Pinta.
The Pinta, the Santa Maria. See you on the beach when I'm drinking sangria. Yeah.
Okay.
Last
one, and we'll call it a night. But this has been my pleasure, and it's worse because I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm tempted to just keep drinking and playing games with you. But here we go, Bob. And if this card doesn't catch fire when I read you the question, you're not as bad as I thought you were. Okay. Oh, Harrison was the director of the 2000 TV show for the Sci-Fi Network. Oh, here we go with Eric with the actually I'm a bigger nerd than everybody else.
Hey, I'm just glad he can kind of school you on something there,
dude. I dig it. I love it. Mm-hmm. And also, I love that Evan is going for more Lonely Island references, even though you and I were quoting Boats and Hose, which is not technically. But the Jack Sparrow Lonely Island video is so good.
And what's so funny is so being a child of the 80s, my mom loved
Michael
Bolton.
Yeah.
And
John Bolton too.
John Bolton, I got the John on the head. So his hair
blowing. Pulled up the diplomacies.
But he's
Sorry.
just like singing, and it's all like epic and
Yeah.
everything, and like, yeah, it's funny.
Oh, Michael Bolton. That Office Space, right? With Michael Bolton.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, Michael Bolton. Oh, you can just call me Mike. Ah, come on, no, Michael. It's great. I mean, you must hear that all the time. Maybe what's it like sharing a name with like,
Oh,
got a meeting with the Bobs later.
okay. So this game, this will only matter to Bob because of a personal connection. But Bob, how much does Bryce look like one of the guys from Office Space?
Oh yeah, dude, he looks like like his friend who he helps beat up the copier and stuff. Totally.
100%, right?
That. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Like 5%, but yeah, I see it. Definitely see
No,
it.
I mean, if you were to say Bryce looks like a dude from Office Space, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I don't know the dude's name, but yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Eric.
Nice.
Yeah.
So a quick sad story. At work, I was made a lead man, my old job a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the company took over, they kind of restructured everything and they took my title away, but they didn't say anything to me. Right. So, because I looked at my app and I would say, oh, it just says like operator level 3. It doesn't say lead man anymore. So I asked them about that. And they're like, well, you never were. And I was like, well, yes, I was. So we went back and looked at all of my reviews and they say lead man, lead man, lead man. And then the name just goes away. I was like, I really feel like Milton in the Office Space, where you guys are like, well, through some, reason he was getting a check. And so we fixed the glitch, and it's like he just fixed the glitch. You didn't tell me. And I just thought that was pretty lowbrow of them.
I mean, it's pretty garbage.
It was pretty garbage. I mean, they didn't try to take any money away, which is a good thing. Like, well, you're still a leader back there. I was like, but.
I mean,
anyways.
Here's the thing, and Bob knows this about me, and I, unfortunately, there's not a lot of things that will get me to fly off the handle, but I hate it when people that I genuinely care about are like mistreated, and I know that they're being mistreated, whether it's relationships or work, and I lose my filter immediately, and I just start saying stuff that my wife will sometimes be like, well, maybe you shouldn't say that in case they continue to date that person or work at that job. But anyways, yeah, Bob, unfortunately, dude, I know your work ethic, and I know you rocked your previous job. I also know you'll rock whatever job you're in because you give a shit about the work you do and the quality of your output, right? And it is really unfortunate that they did not appreciate that. So and Eric, listen, I probably go too far and I get a little crazy with it sometimes. I will say things that I try to be very diplomatic when I say things, but there's a lot of, like, for example, sometimes on Facebook, I just read and scroll. But if I know specifically somebody that is involved in something and somebody is saying something that I know is not true or is maybe unfair, I try to dig down in that and be like, hey man, like, where are you coming from with this? Like, because I don't think you're right. Prove me wrong. I go a little far with it. And Nix, I'm like you. I will probably not defend myself that much, but I will defend my friends and my loved ones crazy. I don't Nix. Or,
don't get me going on the healthcare system.
Oh my god, yeah, healthcare's nuts.
We'll go on another 2 hours of political rants here.
No doubt. Okay, Bobby, I have I found a couple while I was waiting for you. I don't want to ask that one. Nope. Oh, okay, Bob. Let's see, because I don't know if you know this, but let's see if you know this. Let's test your comic book lore.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
The death of which relative of Peter Parker inspires him to be Spider-Man? Who died?
The rice guy. It's Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Well, that's basic.
when you said the rice guy, I was so like, what? And then you said Uncle Ben. I'm like, oh, okay, good job. Okay. If you do not answer this question, we are no longer friends. You better answer. You
No
better
pressure.
get this right. You
No
better
pressure.
get this right. You're probably like, I'm going to throw this answer. So I don't
Yes,
have to
finally, out.
get it out. Let me present it out.
Been looking for that for 20 years.
This dude latched onto me and I can't get rid of him. What is Indiana Jones's profession?
Oh, he's a professor at a university.
Right. But before that, what is he even before that? I will give you, we're still friends because you got that much. That's
Okay.
the deeper cut answer. What's the surface
Okay.
level? He makes this job look fun, like you would want to go do it. And it is probably
An archaeologist.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
it.
okay. Like, yeah,
No,
okay.
yeah, it's like codenames.
I was trying to
Don't
think
overthink
deeper
it.
than that.
Yeah, like don't overthink it. The teacher is the deep cut. It's actually just an archaeologist. Oh,
yeah.
Reed went meta with it because Harrison Ford was a friggin' carpenter.
Okay.
And that's why I love Reed. Did you know that's how Harrison Ford got the Star Wars gig? Is Han Solo. Okay, so he was a carpenter on the set, and they asked him to read lines as part of the ensemble because they knew he did a little acting.
Okay.
And that's how he got Han Solo.
Nice. And I did see a thing where they were talking about how when she says, like, I love you, and it was his idea to say, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, yeah, that's what my character would say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Good choice.
And you know what? You know what? The whole time he was boning her. It's so good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were.
If I could.
They were totally dating. And yes, Evan, he was in Apocalypse Now for 5 minutes. Because he's in the beginning and he hands Barton Sheen like his papers or whatever. Okay, a few more there, Bob, and then we'll call it quits. In which decade was the Berlin Wall erected?
Erected?
Yeah, built. Not when it came down. When was it built?
That'd be much easier when it came down.
Let me give you a clue. It stood for about 20 years.
Yeah, I was going to say the 50s.
But
it's either the 50s or the 60s.
Right.
So 60s.
Yes, it was the 60s.
Yeah.
Good job. I would have guessed the 50s.
Yeah, like late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
They probably started at like 58, 59, and then it was done in like the early 60s. I don't know.
All right. Do you know what is the largest internal organ of the human body?
Your brain?
Nope.
Stomach.
Depends
who you are.
What are we working right now with the Whiskey Wednesday?
Our liver?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is the liver.
That's right. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Yeah.
That's how I would have guessed. Yeah.
It was a rare moment of lucidity for Reagan in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Next to Nixon, maybe one of our worst presidents, at least at that time.
You really turned the tax code upside down.
Yeah.
Put the tax burden on middle class.
Hey, listen, trickle-down economics is a thing.
It's going to start trickling any day now.
Any day now. I'm still waiting 40 years later. Okay. In what golf movie was the epic line, "Be the ball," uttered?
Oh. Groundhog Day. No, not Groundhog Day. This has a groundhog in it, but it was Bill Murray, Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Oh my God.
No.
Why can't I think of the name?
You said everything about the movie. But the movie.
Oh my gosh.
And
Caddyshack. I had to look at the comments. I cheated.
Yes.
Oh my God. I knew the movie. I just couldn't think of the friggin' name.
I know you knew the movie because you kept saying all the right things. Eric, let's just be best friends, dude. I'm here for it. Everybody's like, Caddyshack.
I know.
Okay, Bob, here is the very first one that I was going to ask you. And then you went on a tangent, so I took the opportunity to find more questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're gonna hate this.
Oh, geez.
What is the third book of the Bible? Sadly, I think I knew this. I shouldn't say sadly, but
Third book?
yeah.
The book of Luke?
Nope. No. That's New Testament.
Oh, Old Testament.
Yeah. So we know Genesis is first. I'll give you that one. And you know it's not Deuteronomy.
No, and it's not Corinthians.
Nope, that's New Testament.
Oh, is it?
Corinthians 2?
Corinthians 2. It's not Corinthians 2. Everybody knows that one, right? It's the whole ball game. Is it? It's not Leviticus, is it?
It is Leviticus.
Okay.
Did you get that from the chat, or did you guess it?
No, I didn't even look at the chat. No.
Okay, because there was a few of those in the chat.
Okay.
But
it was kind of a guess because I know there's a lot. I know a lot from that one because a lot of people like to quote that one, but only very specific ones, and they like to ignore the rest of it.
Well, you know, like a lot of things out of the Bible, it's very convenient to quote what applies. I like to do that with Shakespeare instead.
That's right.
But hey, pick your source and quote the shit out of it. You know, have a good time. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, look at Tom.
Tom is on it.
The big brain on Tom. You a smart mother effer. That's right.
Yeah, he is. Can I have a... Do you mind if I have a sip of your soda to wash this down? God, I
just watched that a couple weeks ago. It's so
good. It's still good. It's still good. Oh man. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for putting up with the typical derailments.
There was like if we were editing this, it would edit down to about a 30-minute discussion on or 45-minute discussion on small box games, and then all the rest would be on the cutting room floor.
But like, you know, moral of the story, right? Small box games, don't sleep on them. There's so many amazing small box games that aren't even just entry level. Hey, let's bridge hobby from mass market gamers. I mean, like the Grizzled, Shipwreck Arcana, to name a few. So super important. They're crucial and critical to the hobby. So find your favorite ones, promote them, tell people about them, because it's such a great way. It's such a great way to get people interested and to not just dismiss your passion, your love, because it's not just Monopoly or Risk. You know, oh, you like euchre? Right. Let's go. I've got a version of euchre that's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
And then pick one that's in the hobby industry, whether it's Skull King or Cat in the Box, you know, or whatever, right? I don't love Cat in the Box, but I recognize it for its importance for what it does. Because it does some really cool things. So yeah, man, do not sleep on the importance of small box games. I'm very passionate about them.
A lot of fun of those little boxes.
We get them played all the time, right? Whether it's meetups or family gatherings, or even Bob, when he's playing Magic with his Magic friends and they're doing Commander, you know, hey, we need a palate cleanser. We're waiting for so-and-so to show up.
Yep.
Like,
we play a lot of those games.
Let's just do quicks. I mean, like, do not sleep on those. They're so good. You can really, really, really have a great time with them.
I would say probably a good 60 or 70% of the time when we're done playing, like, you know, 2, 3, or 4 games of Magic, we'll play a game of Mountain Goats. Like, we end on Mountain Goats quite frequently because it's just a nice small palate cleanser. It's very light. We're just rolling dice and moving.
So West likes to tell this story because he's done it to me multiple times. It'll be 1 a.m. We've played a bunch of games, and I'm like, all right, I got to go. And Wes is like, well, we haven't played Cockroach Poker, Ahoy Kitten, or Mountain Goats. Okay, fine. We'll play Cockroach Poker. And he's like, well, we haven't played Mountain Goats or Ahoy Kitten yet. And I'm like, I know, Wes. I love playing games with you. So let's play another one. And then we play one of the other ones. And then he's like, but we haven't played the last one yet. and then we play the last one, and then it's 3 a.m. I need to go home.
Yeah.
And the thing is I genuinely love playing those games with the people because of the interactions and all that stuff. So don't sleep on those.
Yeah.
Just they're really important. They're really
Yeah,
important.
you can have meaningful interactions with people in a small box game. You don't have to have anachrony to,
Yes.
to feel complete,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can play Anachrony and have an amazing time, but while you're waiting for that last person, play one of those. Or when you're done playing Anachrony and you're like, I need to like palate cleanse.
Wind down. Yeah.
Yeah. Play one of those. Or play Donnie and Corey's Mission Control.
Yeah.
Love it. Love those guys. Thank you everybody for watching. Bob, dude, it has been my pleasure and my honor to get to officially invite you to your first Whiskey Wednesday as a regular host.
As a full-time gig.
Yeah. So
at least most of the time. Yeah. I want to thank Mike for, warming my seat up, until I can come and take it, full-fledged. And we wish him well wherever he is off gallivanting.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. No, Bobby, I'm so glad you're here, man. Really excited. And thank you so much for being comfortable enough to come on camera. And I said it at the beginning of the show, but I'm going to say it again. You're one of my best friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you for overcoming your childhood trauma and being on camera, for the countless shows we have done before and that we're going to do. Right.
Heck yeah.
The conventions and everything is just made better by you being there with me while we all go do it. So
yeah. Well, and thanks. I appreciate you reaching out and asking me to be on this ride with you.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
It's awesome.
Come on, man. We are each other's wingman,
Yeah.
And it's great. And Evan said it best. Bob is awesome. That is a factual statement.
Thank you.
Just don't ask either of his ex-wives. Take our word for
it. It's funny because one of the guys at work, I told him I had been divorced twice. Like, oh, that's a hit on the 401k. And I was like, actually, I walked away with everything but the first dog. So I think I did all right.
You made out pretty good, dude. You made out pretty good. I'm trying to find the really fun sign off, and then I will sign us off. I think I pulled it off last time I did it without Mike. Let's see if I can do it again.
Oh, the little
oh yeah. So everybody stay tuned for a great little bit of editing. And for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I was Bob.
Yes, we will see you
next time.
Wednesday.
We'll see you guys.
Good
next
job,
time.
Stonemeyer.
A 7.3 repeating. Heating.